right. Hello. Welcome to another Sunday. Let's just chit chat while everybody piles on in today. Hopefully, everybody's having a good Sunday. It is quite toasty here today. Quite. So I thought I'd do something simple. So we'll see how that goes. And let's see here. This is going. I've already had some tech issues. Things are just spectacular today. We're just going to roll with what we've got because that's all we can do. And it is going to be a-okay. And we're live on the Rumbles. And let's see here. There we go. I know, everybody's moving on like half a cylinder today. But I don't think my brain cells are fighting. Okay, I don't need to be over there. Hey, Skits! I do. Oh, good. You sound good. Perfect. I know. Oh my gosh. Oh, howdy, everybody. I know. Oh, right. Wow, I stayed up I know, 1 o'clock's not that late for most folks, but it was cray. But, yes, all right, I'm just going to start sewing because I'm blue. Oh, no. I am orange because I cut out, I did two words, not my friend. I tried to cut out a circle skirt and then made it uneven, and then somehow I managed to cut two, so I'm going to make a double wide orange floofy petticoat. So I ripped up some 7-inch strips to make this ruffle thing because I don't want to look like a cupcake. Also I want a floofy can dancer dress from the Moulin Rouge. So we're gonna look like an orange frosted pumpkin cupcake thing. So I need to start sewing some hems so I can sew some gathers and do some stuff. And we're just filling up the VIP seats today, which is fine because holy moly, my brain is not. I'm not firing on all cylinders, but that's okay. And I'm sure you'll touch on that tomorrow. So I guess Little Tay isn't dead, like dead, not dead. Publicity stunt. That was weird. Oh, so much stuff this week. No. Those five. Yeah. Oh, I should slow down. Don't blow through all my talking points yet. Wow, we are just crushing it over here today. Okay, I do know how to stream. And hey, Kilroy. Thank you. I had this material for a hot minute. I know it's just short of 100 degrees, and trying to find stuff that feels comfortable was kind of a nightmare. So it was good. I let the hem. Let me just hem the two halves of the circle skirt first, because then I'll throw in a French seam, leave one side open so that I can probably put ties. Okay, there we go. We're just in the home stretch of the sequining on the poofy pants, so we are almost there. I think maybe next week that project might be, at least the pants might be done. I should probably figure out what I'm gonna do for the top, if I'm gonna make a little doublet or something. I don't know. I don't have to decide yet. I'm just gonna pretend I know how to sew and and hope everything is running the way it's supposed to. Little T thinks screams abusive parents, not publicity stuff. Something like, yeah, I don't know. That whole thing was weird. So weird. Also, the way the creepy folks found that woman from the plane, and everybody was like talking about how expensive her house, but all this, it just, I don't know. Why did, what's going on? Okay. Yeah, everything was weird this week. Nothing. Yeah. Something, I know, right, because she was 16 and making oodles of cash. Yeah, something cray. But, and, oh, hey! Oh no! From screen. Just, alright, put up my icon because my, oh, what's, thanks for saving me from myself.
I know how it is. I am like deliriously burnt out. My eyes are like this, and I haven't even smoked yet.
Well, that's good. At least I thought my
Oh,
my okay, not going to complain. We're just going to have friendly banter and the sounds of my sewing machine, even if you can't see what I'm sewing, because it's just a whole bunch of straight lines, because I can't think straight today.
oh man, same. I'm gonna say hi, everybody, in my Dr. Nick voice.
Hi,
God wishes
everybody.
us.
Yes, I know. It was like perfect timing. It was like, oh, I've got friends. And then it was like, and you don't need to be on camera anymore.
Oh,
And
that's funny.
I look too much like a glazed donut to throw my computer camera on, so we're just gonna roll with
Oh,
it.
excuse me. Yesterday, I couldn't sleep, and like I drove to downtown LA with 4 hours of sleep. I think
Oh my
3.
god.
And I had been up for like 10 hours or something crazy, something so like 12 or something insane.
Yeah. Oh,
But
that maroon fabric that looked like it had flowers on it. I was like, I would like 5 yards of you.
it was such. I'm gonna go off tomorrow. I have to like gather my thoughts because it was overwhelming because I used to live down there.
Yeah.
And so when I got down there, I knew where everything was. I remembered all the streets.
Oh, good.
And so I totally clicked on a different stream. We're wearing different clothes in that stream. Oh, that's funny.
Oh man, were the prices like what you expected? Was there a lot of inflation, or stuff still like the same? What?
So
Wow,
on
words.
oh wow. I have Pinky right in there. I am not prepared today. Let me turn some lights on in here. It's dark.
Well, I thought I was prepared, and then my camera was like, "Hey, butterfly! I know the VIP seats at the circus, they're filling up fast. We throw up the velvet ropes at 100." So,
It's it was overwhelming because and I'll show the fabric off in a second, but like it was overwhelming because I walked up and I was like, "Oh, how much, what's your base price?" And all of this is in Spanish.
yeah.
And like I have conversations in Spanish, but I don't speak it every day like I used to.
Hmm.
So it was immersion real quick. It was flat out immersion. So I I got my bearings and stuff, and the second this lady was like, "Oh, this is the $2 row," I was like, I'll sit here for a minute
Right,
peacefully."
that's so right. Just don't talk to me. I'm just gonna look and touch at stuff, please.
It was definitely an experience. It was unreal, and I'm gonna go back. It, I keep on saying overwhelming because like in the callejones, which in English is literally alley shops,
Hmm.
that's where you find all of like when I brag about how you can find anything bootleg in LA, it's there.
Yeah.
And I laughed because it's been so long since I've been there that like last time I was there, like Prada and like Pepe was popular,
Oh,
like now it's all Balenciaga and like fake Fendi.
yeah.
I'm mad though because I couldn't find my I couldn't find the roll. Can you hear my son screaming?
I thought it was a dog. I was like, who's got their dog outside? Yeah.
He's got his Oculus. He's all excited because oh, I'm so tired. He's all excited because I just bought him weights for his birthday.
Okay.
Because that's his new phase. He wants to be a power lifter.
Ooh, well, I should send it to you if you on the kind of fit, kind of fat. Probably their website. They've got um. Well, I sent you the with the shirts, the noodle shirts, or the no, it was the taco one, whatever. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
having a free event next weekend where there's going to be some strongmen. It's free. I don't know how far away it is from you, but it's. I'm
Oh
like,
man,
I like. It all seems like the same, so I have no concept of like this could be a 3 hour drive, but
there's the clueless joke that everything in LA is 20 minutes away, and it's kind of true. Well, it's
right.
like 30 to 35 depending on traffic.
I figured as much, but yeah, so they're having a free, I think next weekend. So if you need something to do, you can take him to go see some professional strongmen.
Oh, he's a churchy now. He's all into church, going to church with his grandma.
Yeah.
I just had an experience at Walmart because before Isaiah was born, I bought I'm in the Sonoran Desert. It's cooler here than in Texas.
Oh
Oh,
man, that's
it's
funny.
the humidity is killing me, Butterfly. I think that's really what it is, and I know no one wants to hear it from the Californians.
I know we've gone back to our normal. It's only like 10% humidity. It's just that it's like almost 100. It's supposed to be 108 tomorrow. I might literally melt.
Yeah, it's just muggy and gross. That's why even yesterday when I went shopping, I went out. I left my house at 6 something in the morning.
Right, you're like, I gotta do this early.
Oh yeah, I went to the bank, I went and got gas, I went and got a McMuffin.
All right, productive
Two. No,
human.
I got 2 McMuffins because I needed unhealthy protein because I knew I was gonna be walking around a ton.
Yeah, you had to
So
pre-feed.
I needed those bricks in my stomach, you know.
Right.
And because I'm a soccer mom, my Stanley Cup, my Fanley fake Stanley saved the day.
Good.
Because the thing about like the Cajones is that they have parking lots and they encourage you to go back and forth to your car. Like
Yeah,
when you buy stuff, they want you to go to your car, put it in, and come
right.
back. You
You're like,
know.
you're not done shopping yet. This was just really fun.
So I'm a seasoned professional when it comes to that. It's just it felt so weird going somewhere and everything's changed, but it really hasn't.
Right.
And the human devastation that this is one thing that drives me mentally insane when people show footage of LA and they show all these people on the street.
Right.
I went
It's not really as scary as they were trying to make it
no,
look like.
I went looking and it's just exactly as it was 20 something years ago. They make everyone move. And don't get me wrong, I made a wrong street and it was poopy. It
Yeah,
smelled,
yeah.
like, and walking a city block is a mile long. Oh, and that's
Yeah.
another thing. Like a lot of the old shops that were open that sold tons of fake stuff are all closed.
Yeah.
So it's more the financial toll more than the
Yeah.
human.
Yeah.
Never got the McMuffin. A biscuit is just all by itself.
Just
I'm
right.
obsessed. I
Yeah.
go through phases.
I like eggs on toast, so I'm okay.
H2O in the family.
Uh,
My fake. And you know what? I'm man enough to walk around with it in my hand because it was. And I had to wear my vest to show off, so I was already hot.
right. I'm flexing and I'm dripping all at the same time.
I wore my metal one because, like in the like Hispanic people are major metalheads, and a lot of people don't know that. So I just looked like everybody else.
Right. I just wanted to blend in. That
I
makes
will
sense.
say though, Like if you do go, you need to go with someone that speaks Spanish
Yeah.
because like there was at least 3 different times where I'd walk in and they're like, "Oh, you speak Spanish? Here's the real price."
Right, we can't rip you off. This is
But
not cinco. This is only dos.
yeah, I went off. I bought a bunch of denim, and that's another thing. Like, where's my yardstick? Do you know at Michael's they are all like they measure it down to the micron, you
Yeah.
know? And in downtown they were like, "Oh, that's kind of a yard." They had the yardstick and it was always in my favor.
Oh, of course.
And I'm like, "Please, yes, do that some more, please."
You can just spare me a few extra inches. Biscuits with jam. Butterfly also likes avocado toast and
I'm
biscuits
obsessed with
with jam.
both.
Yeah, I go back and forth about avocados because sometimes I want them and then sometimes I forget to eat them or don't pick the good ones and they're already like moldy and funny. So I don't usually eat them except for when I'm out. And I guess I'm just not a bougie white girl.
Somebody a long time ago, and I fought for this person, but they got in trouble for planting a bunch of avocado trees at the job. Guess what we now eat for free? And
Right,
every time
avocados.
I look at the boss and I'm like, you gave this person a hard time, and look at all these avocados that we have.
Right. That's what I love. I think the pears are almost ready, so I get on the pear tree, so I can't wait to just like stuff the freezer full of pears, pear jam, pear
I eat
butter.
all three. I eat the avocado and toast, the biscuits and jam, and I put butter on everything to the point where it's going to shorten my life. I
Oh,
know that the
I
amount of
not as much as Kilroy. You gotta coat the biscuit in butter like you're caulking a tub.
damn right.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm. I am so burnt out. I was
I was so tired. I was like, "Am I gonna stream? Am I gonna stream?" And I'm like, "Of course you are. Even if you're by your lonesomes, you will flub around for a while, and it'll be okay."
I was laying in bed, but I was like I can't just sit in the chat.
You saw me faffing about, and you're like, "This is send in the rescue squad."
Funky avocados. I go look
No.
same. That's why I can't eat in the dark anymore. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's really funny. Like it's between. I left my grapes out for an experiment to see what would happen, and between the raccoons, the cats, and the skunks, they like grapes.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I know. I've been eating the grapes are ripening now. Also, I've got a complaint for all the places I've lived with vineyards outside of where I started from. I'm gonna need to bring grape pie to the West Coast because they do not have it, and I sorely miss it. And I
Grape
think it's just
pie.
I think it just is from the Finger Lakes region. I haven't. Nobody makes it outside of there, and it's so good. It's like any other fruit pie, but it's with grapes. Usually it's got a crumble crust. That's my crumble topping instead of a lattice work pie shell. Wow, we're starting earlier and I'm not even hungry. Wow, okay, brain. But
That was one thing that I did stay away from because a lot of people were talking about getting food poison down there. It
mm,
took everything in me not to buy a street dog. But it was so muggy and hot, I wasn't hungry.
yeah, sometimes you just don't feel like eating when it's yucky, when it's that squishy.
No, I
Yeah.
can't eat when it's gross outside.
Oh, Kilroy's never had an avocado, never been interested, and you can only get them at certain times of the year. That is fair. I know people laugh. I was like, I remember growing up, like, I think except when we went to like the Mexican chain restaurants and guacamole was like a treat. Like, avocados weren't a thing at the grocery stores when I grew up. They just weren't.
That's weird to me because I've always grown up near avocados.
Yeah, no, they just don't grow where I come from. mean, but I did get maple syrups, which you can't, those trees do not grow here either. So,
Oh man, when
yeah,
I get off my Dove, I'll show some of the fabric. I wanted to get something that was stereotypical Santee Alley. Like,
yeah,
excuse me, there's like these drag queens that I watch where they go around the world. Trixie Mattel
yeah,
talked about it recently in an interview where people come from all around to go to Santee Alley
yeah.
because the fabric is so affordable. But I had to get one print that was just ridiculous.
Only one?
But the thing was, is like their measurements were insane. It was always in my favor. There was
Right, you were
one
saying
lady,
that,
sorry, she cut me 4 yards, and that was 4 yards. But everything else, like,
right? Because the cheap stuff they just want to like rotate and get rid of, and the expensive stuff's like, oh, maybe we should actually measure like the silk brocade or whatever.
yeah, they were extremely happy to see me. And then I made friends there. This woman was just astonished at my Spanish, and she kept on asking me like, "What's your name? Where you're from?" And I told her, and she's like, "We are friends, William, Mister McSewing," and she's from the town over that I live in.
Oh, funny.
Oh yeah,
It
which
really, it's funny how it really is a small world. Like everybody knows everybody.
I had to drive all the way downtown to meet a neighbor.
Right?
It was cool though because once people, I don't know, it's just when if you're walking into a fabric store, you're there for a reason, you know.
Yeah, usually it's to please take my money.
These stores are all niche, and there was one where I felt, I felt bad because this guy was on lunch. He grabbed me and he was like, "No, sir, you get whatever you want." Because I'm sure he was sitting all there all day and no one walked in, you know.
Right.
And he was like, "Do not let this disturb you."
Yeah, right. I will service someone today. Wow, I am like 3 sheets to
I am out. I am so out of it today. Let me switch my angles. We'll get some fabric flying in a minute. Maybe move my camera.
right? I know. Oh, we should just feel bad for a second about the fires in Maui. There just sort of like 100 people have died that they know about already.
It's unreal to me. And to all those people who are with those weird conspiracy theories, stop it. Stop it. You weren't hit by an energy weapon. There was a fire. You were.
Yeah, so the rich people could finish buying up all the rest of the land because the poor people weren't gonna give it up.
You know what's really funny? I actually know someone that's owned property there for, gosh, as long as I've been alive.
Yeah, I haven't made it there yet. Who knows?
That's the one place I haven't made it there either. I always talk about I've been everywhere except for Hawaii.
But flying sucks so bad right now. I don't even know when I would want to get on a plane again.
And I don't think the average person realizes how far Hawaii is from California, just from the West Coast.
Yeah,
It is so sad, Butterfly. It is extremely sad. I'm going to open my door real quick.
that's okay. All right, let's see here. What else? Oh, that was not. Actually, that was funny. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner because it should have. That if I want to see, I should try to see if I can find Sam Bankman-Fried's booking photos. I just want to see. Did he have that dumb smirk on his face? Some people are so damn paranoid they'll believe in anything but the obvious thing that actually happened. Yeah, it is true. Yeah.
I saw that weird story on Twitter, and I was like, I'm done with you, Twitter, for the day. And I sincerely put my phone down. If you ever feel that you need to go, like, I've had moments where I've made videos and said some pretty crazy things, but then I've deleted the video.
That's one way to manage it. Yeah. I just can't believe that one footage I saw that with the people driving and they just drove past that lady, whether they didn't even like stop to see like if they were breathing or not. They were like, yeah, we're just out of here. I kind of get it, but I don't know. It was just weird.
I would have stopped. The average human, well, and I shouldn't say average. People don't help each other anymore. They're
That's,
not out there to
yeah,
help each other.
no. And I think,
That's crazy. Some parts of Alaska are closer to Hawaii than California.
yeah, I read, well, yeah, because the Aleutian Islands spread out for quite some ways.
That
Now,
was the best story I ever heard. Was an Aleutian Island story.
mm, oh, this rolled hem on a circle skirt is kind of hard to make pretty. It's just as well nobody can see how many times I've like driven off the edge, but I'm going to cover it with a big giant ruffle. I think I'm actually going to use up this whole roll of orange that I got. I just want to look like an orange cupcake.
Oh, I bought a Serger book.
Okay.
Well, it's secondhand.
Yeah.
And I started getting followed by someone I really respect. I've been watching her for years. Her name's Made by Pam.
Oh, yeah, you were saying that last week.
And like she was working with her serger, and it totally like it just gave me motivation to pull my serger out. And then today when I found that book, I was like, all right, I'll pull the serger out. It's gonna take me more time trying to find the cord because I have a behind this beautiful Elna grasshopper are like 15 cords just all wrapped together.
Oh, no.
So
You
it's a
should
mess.
take a piece of masking tape and label at least what it goes to.
I did that in my rollaway, but all these ones are the ones that I use, and they all just became a rat's nest.
Yeah. I don't mind the rolled hems on the straight pieces with the rolled hem foot, but on the circle, I think the last time I tried to do a giant curve too, I like was off on my. But we don't need to talk about my feelings.
Did I leave my coffee in my car? I think I left my
Oh,
coffee.
go get the coffee. I can hold down my own fort.
Popeye needs his spinach and coffee.
Right. Let's see here. What else is funny? Oh, they're not funny. I think I'm gonna make a curdle because why not? And because I was planning my next projects. Everything's so serious. I don't want to talk about serious stuff today. Yep. Oh, that's super exciting though. I'll wait till let's see here. Kilray, I don't know what a rolled hem is, but I'm already against them. It, don't be against them. It's you just I think I showed the narrow rolled hem foot. So if you have to if you don't have this fancy piece of kit, having to iron the pieces and then do the rolled hem blows. Or you like put binding at the bottom. But there's so much on this double circle skirt that it's gonna be fine. And I'm gonna add a ruffled tier to the bottom, so it's gonna get hidden anyway. This is just because I don't know. I've got fabric to burn and butterfly break out the serger. I finally made myself use it, thread it a million times, change the setting until I was comfortable with it. Yeah, I think I know more how to rethread my serger than I have figured out all of the tension stuff. Plus, there's the ways that you can do not the lace. My auntie gave me a couple of different serger threads that I still don't understand all the things to do.
Sergers and I, like, it's a saga. It's a saga between
Yeah,
Sergers and I. We just don't like each other. It's
I think
terrible.
that's most people until they it's like breaking in like your best friend, but when you just start off as like enemies for like 7 years, and then you're like, okay, fine, we found some common ground. We can get along now.
Your best friend that bites you, it's like a unruly puppy.
Yeah, I don't do puppies, so I don't know. A rolled hem on a circle skirt makes me want to run with scissors. Well, this is my personal hell on this day where it's like I've been saving this for a while now. Oh, good, we're 30 minutes in. It's so hot, it feels like the south side of Satan's scrotum here. So I was like, why not torture myself some more with this process? At least on Broomhild, I've got better control because I think it would definitely be a nightmare on one of the electric machines that just drive super fast. Here, I actually have to pay attention and be careful. Not that you don't have to pay attention on any machine, but we're going at a better speed that I can be less terrible.
Oh man, I am like 5 steps slow today. Sunday is my new burnout day, and I'm getting used to the school year again. Which,
Right?
excuse me, getting up early is not kind.
No.
Because usually I get up before everyone else, but then I am at home asleep when everyone's getting up and getting ready for work.
Right, but now you actually have to like,
Stay up.
yeah, be school marm on top of everything else.
Oh, and like it's Isaiah's birthday on Wednesday,
Okay.
so we're gonna go do a bunch of cool stuff this week. It's been
Awesome.
oddly rainy here for the past week, so it's been actually nice here.
Wow, I could use some rain. It like smells like fire season, but we've been so I can't even complain. There's hardly been any smoke this year. I can't remember. It's been years since we've made it this far into August without it looking apocalyptic yet. Well, I'll take rain, just no dry lightning, please. That I can't deal with heat lightning right now. Today in 1851, Isaac Singer got a patent for his first sewing machine, and I'm sewing on a white. Awesome. Thank you for the knowledge of the day. Oh, here's something exciting. At some point, I think Rumble is going to offer web hosting. The CEO, Chris Pavlovsky, was kind of intimating that I can't wait to have my websites hosted on a non-FANG company, and hopefully it won't set me. I don't even care how much it's going to cost because I can't wait. Can't happen soon enough for me.
Oh,
Go Rumble.
that is the real life Frankensurger. And the funny thing is, when I plug it in, it shocks me.
Well, maybe you need to manage that.
Well, as long as you don't touch anything on this side, you'll be fine.
All right.
This is pirate surging over here.
Right.
Oh, the tension looks. I'm gonna have to rethread this thing.
I know that's terrible. That's become like the fun part is rethreading my serger. But oh, we'll get there. Oh my goodness, you need to put an actual modern cord on it. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, does it just need to be replaced? We can. Oh, I need to order that cord or go to the hardware store to see. And I probably should, if my Singer that needs the new cord, if it's not a polarized cord, should I replace it with a polarized one, or do I need to keep it a not polarized?
If you want to completely rewire it from the top, you can do whatever you want.
I
I
just want to
usually
replace. I just want to replace that one piece. No, I'm not. Yeah, yes, because your version of rewiring is just putting a new cord. Yes, I'm going to completely open up the case and take out the two loops from where they're looped in, and then put on two new loops with a brand new cord that doesn't have holes in it.
I need to put my shoes on to use this thing.
What? You don't sew with you wear shoes to touch a sewing machine pedal? That's so weird.
I have an oddly giant foot, and so it depends on the machine.
Okay.
But I like sewing either barefoot or with my socks on.
Let's see. Oh, you need to actually you need to put an actual modern cord on it. It it has got so many holes in it. It really does need to replace. And given my other problems, I'd get an electrician to test your ground wires. Interesting. Okay, I'll taking notes. I
I
saw
forgot
this.
about the Frankensurger too. Butterfly. Do you know what's funny? Somebody who like, and I'm gonna talk about her here because she actually has a lot of subscribers and a giant channel, and she tried to start a sewing channel. And I only knew her through the sewing channel. I had no idea
Okay.
she was like YouTube famous.
How
She
funny.
sent me she sent me one of the three Zergers I have all the way from the East Coast.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I'm still appreciative, even though we don't talk anymore. Like I'm still appreciative that she sent me that thing because it was the missing piece I needed was in her broken serger.
Oh, funny. Oh,
So Frankensurger is real.
oh, that's funny, Hillary. You weren't talking to me when I said the ground wire thing. Fair. Uh, okay, right. So mine is. I don't think I need an electrician for mine. Mine's just going to be a straightforward. If you keep getting shocked off a mic, you probably have ground problems. Yeah, no, I'm not getting shocked off my microphone, and I didn't
I'm
set the
the
house on
crazy.
fire.
I'm the crazy person who has a million things plugged in, but I have a bunch of power surgers and like
Surge protectors, power surgers.
I'm
This
out
is
of it. This is why I didn't want to stream today. I am in full aphasia right
That's
now.
all right. We're just two peas in a pod. This is going to be the we make no sense, but somehow stuff shit got sewed.
I've burned the candle on both ends and I'm paying for it. Like that's why tonight I am gonna go to bed at a decent time. Like
Right, you're going to get off the show. We're going to finish up at 7:30, and then you're going to go to bed.
I miss those days, and football's back, so I have something to fall
Right,
asleep to.
I can't believe why is it this in October? Shit, no, I haven't finished my Cape project yet. I am not ready for it to be the middle of August. Like WTF? Time is going by too quickly this year.
Especially like when football starts. Oh,
Yeah.
the Raiders. Ooh, the Raiders beat the San Francisco 49ers 34-7.
Yeah, you need to get some sleep. Right, girls. Tomorrow's show's gonna be a duplicate of today's hot mess.
Well, by the time 7 o'clock rolls around, I'm fully caffeinated and I've already had lunch and dinner.
Right. I've been fed a couple times.
I don't do breakfast well.
Mm.
My problem is from my cigarette smoking days, I'm too used to eating like a donut, a cup of coffee, you know?
Oh no, I eat the same thing for just about for breakfast. It is a egg white French toast sandwich with cheese, some type of deli meat, vegetable greens, onion, tomato, sometimes kimchi, mustard. It's a
Kimchi, you would have you eat like a Southern Californian.
I've learned to love it. Well, when you grow up eating ethnic foods of your peoples, makes you helps you to become open to other flavors. I don't know. We were just a very food adventuresome family, though, too. So
I forgot how to use this thing. Okay,
you,
there we go.
okay? Did you plug it in?
I'm like I'm futzing around with it first. I'm taking all the dust off. I've
Oh, good
learned,
job.
and I'm gonna probably end up like either pulling the thread to see if it's threaded or rethreading the entire thing. And
Okay.
the string has dust on it.
Mm, yeah. Then cut it and pull it through. That's all right. You take your time, honey. Let's see here. Killer, I had to start forcing myself to sleep more than 4 hours a day for that reason. I kept thinking I was awake and alert enough to do stuff, and I wasn't. Yeah, I had periods of my life where I could count the number of hours in a 36-hour time period where I slept unfortunately, my insomnia's been a little bit better, and 50 milligrams of Benadryl at bedtime. It's kind of magical.
This is gonna sound a lot more nefarious than what it is, but I met a nice man at McDonald's who was from Mendocino County, and while we were talking, I felt like I was delirious.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah.
like, in my head, I'm like, William, why did you leave the house? Oh, hold on, I have to go say hi to Linda real quick.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I need my beauty sleep. I could like seriously most nights if I could have like 12 hours of sleep, I would be at great. But I don't usually sleep that much contiguously. So here we are. But I had fun last night. Oh my gosh. We were hanging out at the club next door and cooked chicken, and I hula hooped and introduced young folks to the Pixies, and I played Surferosa and some placebo, and it was good. And then I lost the top to my sippy cup, but it's next door. So it is lost and found. What
I
is
have more
that?
blankets for the
Oh,
homeless.
hold on one second. Hello, Rumble Ranter. No, this is my sewing machine that's making noise. I'm not drying herbs. That's okay.
You know, it weirdly, I could fall asleep to both.
Right? The sound of herbs dry. Yep. This machine just sounds so nice. I just had to acknowledge that somebody's over on Rumble in the Rumble ghetto.
Yay, Rumble.
Yeah, I
All
tried to
right.
have a picture today, but my camera has decided it was too hot and cranky.
Let's find the cord and see how bad this is going to electrocute me.
Okay,
Oh, and
alright.
shout out to Linda. She brought more blankets for the homeless.
Aww,
She cares.
that is kind. Let's see here. Oh, did we talk? Did I say that more people are getting on the Lizzo bandwagon of like, you're a nasty human? This is going to be an interesting lawsuit to see how this shakes out. Whether she's just going to settle or what's going to happen.
I heard you bring up little Tay. Do you
Yes,
know on last Monday or whatever, I almost cried when I thought she passed away,
I
you
know.
know?
She's like come back from the dead.
I'm filled with just rage now.
Yeah.
Rage. Just don't but you know what though? I had a good conversation with my son about not faking your own death.
Right. Don't be the kid who cried wolf. And I think Kilroy brought up an interesting point, like whether it was her dad in a publicity stunt. But
Everybody should go to jail. Everybody should go to jail. Everybody. In Texas, they arrested an 11-year-old girl for faking her own kidnapping.
oh my god. Well, yeah. And then there was that lady who also faked her own kidnapping
Go to
thing.
jail. Everybody. Everybody should go to
I think they're
because that
just
happens to
charging
real
that one
people.
with misdemeanors, though. But then at the same time, you got to figure, like, as a taxpayer in that municipality, the money that was spent to find her and search for her when she wasn't missing, and then the cost of how much it would take to take her to trial, like, you should just plead and see, like, don't torment your
Oh.
community anymore.
All right, let's
Well,
find
Lizzo bad hombre, maybe so. It's super. I
Lizzo. We don't know if it's real or not, but it's
know
really that whole situation is really ironic.
it is it. Yes, and how can you exercise that much? Like how does she find time to eat that much with all of her shows and choreo rehearsals? Like I don't get it.
And yes, and yes, I have a grasshopper on a silver platter. Judge me.
That's really
I,
funny.
I literally do. I do.
Well,
I have all my grandma's old silver. I have so much I don't even know what to do with it.
no, that's perfect. It needs something. You need an easy way to move it, and the color contrast is just adorable.
And I had it appraised. It's real.
The grasshopper or the silver? No, I know you meant the silver. Let's see here. Yeah, you said that earlier. Lil Tay is 100% abusive, shitty parents, and that seems quite true.
It just the whole situation makes me want to cry. Like that. See, but that's the parasocial relationship. That's what the social media does to you. It will like in the old world, we were forgotten. Like you'd move
Yeah.
to a new town and forget about all the people you went to kindergarten with because you'd never see them again.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And that's just how the world was. And now because of the internet, people know that they're forgotten.
Yeah. Yes.
Sad. It's just what is it? Fame is one hell of a drug, as people say.
True. Yeah. I don't think I'll ever be famous, and I'm not worried about being forgotten.
I would fight the paparazzi. I would go to jail. I would go to jail for fighting the paparazzi if they walked up to my son or something. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't
Oh,
handle it. I
right.
couldn't handle it.
Excuse me. That wasn't on my list. But where was it in that? Some I'm gonna forget the name of the town in Pennsylvania that the house, the somebody's Ring doorbell camera caught a house exploding, and then all the speculation that it either had to have been, I guess a gas leak would have affected. I don't know, either a gas leak, a meth lab, something, but
So
it.
where I live, gas leaks don't exist anymore, and it's always a meth lab. When you have a big green cloud above your house, or like when you get acid rain above your house, it's a meth lab.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
I'm a mess. I am such
ridiculous.
a mess. Why did I
Oh,
do this to
plum. I
myself?
know that's. I was like, it's a fruit and it's a pea in Plum, Pennsylvania. The house exploded. Thanks for coming to my rescue, Kilroy.
Oh, that's hilarious. Why did I do this to myself? There is nothing but cords down here. Fred Sanford would be so disappointed in me.
Right. All of the Fred Sanfords.
Well, the Red Fox version would be proud of me for being keeping the tradition of hoarding in Los Angeles alive.
Right.
Even though by today's standards, you have to be a millionaire to have a shop on Figueroa, like
Yeah.
he did. You'd literally have to be a multi, and to live in a house like he did, you again would have to be a millionaire.
Fear. All right, so it was turned out to be a gas leak. Well, that's.
Oh, look at this!
Oh my god, what rat's
I
nest of
told you,
hell did you just.
I did this to myself. It's embarrassing.
Yes, you did. Well, you can show your shame on my stream, so you don't have to do it tomorrow.
This is every machine that I would used at the time, or I've recently purchased the sewing machine. Okay, Serger.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh my gosh, yesterday I went out and made everything that I'd worn, and I was like strawberry shortcake with my bear and strawberry skirt, my corset, my red and white striped corset covered. Like, I was like a confection. It was so funny, but I was here for it. Or
I wish
there for it.
Alibaba was here to see
I
this
know,
shame.
right?
This is behind. I rarely show this because this is actually embarrassing. Because I can do better than this.
Exactly right. It's just as well that they're not here to see your
Okay,
shame right now.
hopefully,
Oh, that house looked
hopefully.
like it had been hit with a howitzer. It was completely destroyed, and there was debris everywhere. I believe it. The explosion was uh, incredible.
See, but gas will do that
It
too.
will.
That's the
Yes. It. Yep.
problem.
That's why I said gas leak first, and then went to everybody else's jumped to conclusion of meth house.
Well, I live on the outskirts of the desert, and like if someone moves in the neighborhood and they don't mow their grass and stuff, and they hang out in their house, everybody instantly assumes they're trying to make a mess out of the house.
Fair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even though I'm like ready to move away from the suburbs.
Right. You're like, give me the rural
It's
suburban.
because I've lived in places like Tillamook. I know what a slower life is, and so
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want my son to experience that.
Yeah, he doesn't have that much longer while he's on. Well, I don't.
Oh no, when he turns 18, I'm buying him a reliable dirt bike, and we're gonna go travel the world like that one lady I watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
I, I vicariously lived through this one woman who drives a dirt bike all around the world.
Oh, I did. Are you? Did YouTube sometimes think we have the same brain? Because I think I just tried to get fed that channel, and she like needed her bike repaired in like the middle of India or whatever.
I love her. She is a soldier. Like, there's a lot of things. She went to Sinaloa, Mexico. She went to places where most people, like, she was driving around on drug routes. Like, she didn't even know it. Oh, she's hardcore. She's hardcore. I love her channel. She
Yeah,
actually inspires me to ride more.
I think I'm going to follow the Robert Barnes etiquette of I'm not. I don't think I want to travel places without a habeas.
Oh, man, I just got sweat in my eye. Because I'm an ex-traveler, like I respect people who travel like that. Because I'm at home now, sitting at home every day.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wished I hadn't been sold on the you graduate high school, you go to university, and you start working. Like I kind of wished I'd
Oh,
done more travel. Like, and now where I'm at, like I can't just throw in the towel, or I could, but when you're just, never mind, self-employed with a day job.
I same boat, just a different cabin, same boat.
Yeah.
All right, before I plug this in, I've learned.
What do you
I've
need to
learned though.
unplug first? And where's the fire extinguisher?
Oh,
Okay, come on,
oh.
just get in the
Okay,
roll
that's a
time
different cord. That's my Sega. Oh,
Okay, well, get in there. Okay, I'm getting ready to put the roll time on the second half of this gigantic double circle skirt. Okay, don't
maybe
unzip it.
if I use electrical tape and just tape it to the back of this serger. No, because
um,
it gets in the way, and every time I touch it, it shocks me. Let me go get my tool bag. Oh,
yeah, that sounds good, Killer. I won't go above 35 on two wheels. Fair. And on a bicycle, I don't think I could literally get up to 35 miles an hour. So I've never I've never been on a motorcycle. And it's been a hot minute since I've ridden a bicycle. I always wonder where the money comes from. Visas aren't cheap, gas isn't cheap, motorbike parts aren't cheap. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if they're monetized on YouTube, then that might be supporting it, and then everything technically would be a business write off. But oh, I did. Wow,
oh,
we made it this far. There's no advice here medical, legal, financial, anything. If you think you need advice or something where you would normally pay a professional, you should do that. This is not the place. If you learned something accidentally, I'm sorry. Carry on with your Sunday shenanigans, or Monday if you live on the continent that does not exist. I see you, Australia.
I agree with Kilroy though. That's the one thing I always ask because, like, I know where, like, my hobbits. I'm so tired. My hobbies cost money. My hobbits. I am so exhausted. My hobbies cost money, and when I see people do certain things, I'm like, dude, where do you get all your money? Because I know my projects cost.
Right. Well, I do too, but I try to score super cheap fabric. That's half price
Same.
at Goodwill.
Yeah. Mike is limpy today.
Oh no, we got limp mic problems.
All right, let's plug her in.
All right. Or if they get sponsors, because some of those sponsorship deals are pretty lucrative. Oh, I think I have a discount link. I should probably try the coffee brand coffee because I keep ordering it for people for gifts and their tea. But my
You haven't
brother-in-law,
tried. You
I,
haven't tried something that you give other people?
I do, yeah, I like the company owner. I enjoy their content. I enjoy what they create. So I'm like, and coffee's an easy sell, especially because they sell he's got the double caffeinated. So double caffeinated in a house with a toddler. I was like, this is going to go over like
Coffee's a drug, and
Amazing.
drugs sell themselves.
Right. And it's hard, I
Coffee
mean,
is
freshly roasted
undrinkable.
coffee and nice tea blends are
Oh,
they're they're usually a win with the folks I know. So it's an easy bet. Like, but I should order some for myself to try it, and then I'll get oh no, because I was thinking about getting an affiliate code, but now I want to get a sponsorship from that Tacrite mini chainsaw that all the boys are promoting. I'm like, I want to show off my Tacrite mini chainsaw, please. Could you sponsor me?
they will because as someone who uses a DR, every single person on their commercials are VHS tapes, which I have, and DVDs, is a woman.
Exactly. I want Tacrite. Hit me up. I got some little tree branches that need a mini chainsaw, and my hands are small.
I would take a sponsor deal depending on what it is. Like I have rules. Like I would never play a slave in a movie. I would like there's a line with me. Like I have a whole list. My SAG list.
I know. I go back and forth about that because part of me, I'm here to show up and have fun, and so much of my stuff is like from the thrift store, or I really am in the low buy, no buy. I don't want to. I'm not a product review channel because who's gonna find it? Like the sewing machines I sew on don't even exist anymore, and I don't want people to think I'm selling shit. But I don't. But the money sounds lucrative, but I don't want to sound like an asshole either. So I don't know. Like,
I'm weirdly, even though I'm a part of it, I'm anti-establishment, even though I'm a part of it.
yeah, it's hard to live in this country and not be a part of the establishment. We've been taxed and targeted and ticketed and chipped and two ways till Tuesday.
When someone once told me when you're young, you fight the establishment, and then when you become older, you become the establishment.
Yeah, yeah. There's something. Yeah, it happens. Oh, but is Penn's really gonna run with Christie as his running mate? I saw the pic. I saw that. I
Are
was
you
like, oh
serious?
gosh, I don't even know. Like, Christie,
You know
I
what the
thought
funny
he
thing
had like
is?
weight loss surgery and then he like ballooned back up. He like is huge.
I would have voted for. I don't like Chris Christie at all in any way, shape, or form. There is endless footage. He tried to fight somebody at a Brewers game.
Yeah,
He literally evacuated a beach so his family could hang out on it.
yeah. Well, because they probably need it. Wow, I'm getting nasty
He
too.
needs he like I've never liked that man. I've
Yeah, he's
never
not
liked
my
that
cup of
man.
tea. That's yes, Kilroy. And despite all the junk I have, I'm weirdly anti-consumerist. So sponsored deals are kind of no bueno. Yeah, I feel weird about it. Not
All
A,
right.
I'm not big enough, and nothing is like struck me as like this is the end all be all that I really want everybody to try or do, except for maybe my locals. Maybe people should come check out. I'm kind of using locals as my random journaling exercise. So if you want more spicy content, I don't have anything behind a paywall yet. Just another place to go hang out with me.
All right. This thing hasn't been turned on since I created the Frankensurger. It hasn't shocked me because I put the tape on the back.
Good.
We're going in dry. I haven't put any lube in or anything on this.
Yep, don't trust anybody over 30 is a word for the slogan until you turn 30. Exactly. I forget how loud surgeons were. They're like the noisiest machines.
Whoa! Whoa!
I don't see the house smoking yet, so that looks promising, but
Oh! We don't get along. We do not. I don't know what I'm doing. I am
that's
man enough to admit that I don't know what I'm doing.
welcome to attempting to sew with a serger or
Why
surgeon.
did we hate each other? Why don't we get along?
I don't. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? I know, and I like to thrift and antique stuff, and it's not like I'm going to get a sponsorship from like the Goodwill. Like, come on.
Oh man, if that was real, I would be wearing a Goodwill t-shirt right now. Sign me up. Why did I put the tension so like
Because you
okay.
don't learn with your sewing machine until you screw it up. That thing sounds like an ultra fast Nazi German machine gun they had in WW2. Oh, is
This
no,
thing is
my
just
face
not
isn't on here, so it doesn't matter. I played, what I played, because I don't play with BB guns, but that BB gun, I played with, fired a BB gun yesterday. It's been a hot minute getting ready to just learn how to sight, because I think we're doing the intro safety stuff at the range next weekend at 9 o'clock on Saturday. Okay, it'll be okay. I can make it.
okay, that was a success, but I missed a thread though.
Oh, yeah, it sewed stuff. I, I see that.
I don't get along. Oh well, Wayne, this is gonna be definitely something I'll be showing off and working off tomorrow.
Right.
I completely it's all because of Pam. She totally inspired me to pull out my serger.
I know mine's in the cupboard with my Babylock and that Eldridge that I should not have spent $50 on because that completely also needs to be rewired. Oh,
But it's the beginning of the collection. You're officially
exactly.
a sewing machine
It,
collector.
it, it is
Oh,
true. I had to. Somebody who you're talking about the crazy prices down there. I saw on Facebook Marketplace somebody had this beautiful red Singer, $600.
I often wonder what people are smoking.
I mean, granted, the red color was amazing, but I don't know. And somebody was selling a treadle for over 1,000. I was like, what? Even in good condition, like, I don't know.
You I've found people like that, but they're from movie houses, they're from like
Yeah.
people who don't know what they're doing, but they're fanatic.
Oh, same killer. That's why I'm not involved in most real life ham radio gatherings. They seem to think 6 or 7 on a Saturday is an acceptable start time. Yeah, only if you're a vampire or don't sleep. Like, WTF?
It is known, like I'm in a bunch of weird groups and we have meetings at 7 o'clock at night, like adults.
Right?
None of this 7 in the morning crud.
Yeah,
No way. I'm in this group called Creek People. We have never had a morning group ever, ever.
yeah, no. And if it is morning, like 10 o'clock is perfectly acceptable. Like, come on. Maybe they're the same people who were at, like, they had to make it 6 or 7 because they'd already been at the lake fishing since like 3 and they're like getting ready for their second breakfast, like a hobbit. I don't know.
That always got me too. Like I used to go to the lake. I would get there at 6. The parking lot was almost filled.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
I
this
don't miss that. I
is
don't
this
miss that.
really. Let me just double check to make sure that I've got the name of this right before I like go off on this misadventure. Yes. Oh my god. Okay, so there is this group. Is this just Oregon or is it? Oh, they're everywhere. What is this the same thing? IP. All right. Maybe my human will get me the name of it, but I'm gonna. So some. I think they're just in Oregon, but there's this group that wants to get rid of all
Uh-oh.
hunting, fishing, animal eating. Like you can't accidentally like kill a rodent in your yard. They like literally must be supported by George Soros and the WF. These are like the you
What
will
about
kill
those people
us.
who live in the mountains that survive off of the food that they live
Oh,
around,
they've
you
got a
know?
commercial crabbing season, even though there's like fecal coli and cyanobacteria. Like when I know that the
I
ones without R's make sense because, like, it's legal. There's bacterial growth, but you can't, like, oh my god, stupids.
I actually lived with a crab fisherman. It was nice because he was gone for 7 months out of the year.
Best roommate ever.
Ever of all time. And he would when he would pay me for 8 months.
Right? Because,
I
well, I
lived
know, because,
alone,
right?
basically, you know.
But they still paid their share of the rent, which is beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons I missed Oregon.
Like,
I had a
I,
reliable roommate.
right, between, like, the indigenous folks who've got rights to the salmon and, like, there's just no way to, and they were, like, breeding pet animal, which I, granted, I don't think pets should be breeded. I kind of understand a little bit for, like, working dogs if you need certain traits to, like, be a
So
good
there's a
sheepdog.
line. Like, we don't need 7 million pit bulls. We don't
No.
need, like, Dalmatians have been bred out of bred almost to extinction. Poodles, poodles, poodles are the
Yeah.
most fertile dog on planet Earth because everything's half poodle now.
Oh, right. The labradoodles, the mini poodle, whatever.
Stop
Ugh.
it! Stop it!
Right. Or,
Like,
like, yeah, the Frenchies who all need to have C-sections because they don't know how to deliver live puppies anymore. Like, that's a problem.
I've reported puppy mills. Like, I'll go crazy if I catch someone abusing animals. I'll call you. I'll go. I'll report you.
Yeah. So some of it, like, that part I understand, but yeah, breeders are too much. But, like, to not be able to, like, kill a rat or have the, if you have mice in your stove or whatever, like, you can't just not kill animals. It's just so
But
crazy.
what about, like, my super ex-girlfriend from Oregon? Sent me a picture of a ranch in Tillamook that they found over 500 chickens, and they all had their own each individual cage, and they were raising them for cockfighting.
Oh, well, that's okay. Well, I mean, I don't. I think there's other legal issues there. I mean, I'm
If I
not.
lived near there, I would literally be a part of the people that rescued all the chickens. If I
I would have
lived
been
near
eating a
there.
lot of chicken soup. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
There would have
that
been a lot
too.
of fried
No, that too.
chicken in my
I
house.
grew up I grew up farm adjacent. Like, I'm heartless. Like, I'll save an animal. Like, I'll save all the goats, but I might eat one.
Right? Yeah. So right there against the breeding and the eating. Like, there's no killing of anything. So it just doesn't make it's a line too far. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not gonna. I don't believe it.
Can't believe the Surger's back. I want people to see my Remain Klingon sign though, so I'm gonna have to figure out a place to put my Klingon Maktajaj.
Yeah. Need more space than or
I need a MacGyver hanger.
yes. Yes, please. With I hate cement floors because I don't like my feet being cold, but right now I just want to not be sweltering.
In the Hispanic culture, Kilroy, cockfighting is huge. It's huge here.
Right, you
It,
just block out time to go things. Right? Yes.
I actually got caused a lot of controversy. I went to Mexico and I bought a bunch of shirts for Isaiah, and one of them was a cockfighting t-shirt. So this little boy would be walking around with it was a rooster, but it said in Spanish, like, "Come to the cockfights in Tijuana, Mexico," and people would be like, "Take that shit off of that child!" Like, people were shaking and, like, talking to me. I still have that shirt. It's in the closet. That shirt caused so much drama. So much. People were like,
Yeah,
"You're a bad parent. What are you doing?"
exactly. No killing of anything is unrealistic goal if you're a natural organism. I 100% agree. And I like to eat shrimp, and I like to eat meat. I
Obsessed.
can't be a vegetarian. Doesn't
Obsessed.
work.
I'm obsessed. I was raised by a real life carnivore. Like, I barbecue twice a week. Like, I'm marinating steak right now. the joke when we took Isaiah to the county fair when he was young, like 4 or 5, and a friend of mine was like, "I bet you $10, he's gonna grab a fork and try to eat a pig," because all he like I love pork. I don't
Yeah,
play like. And in certain cultures, people don't eat pork, and African Americans, a lot of African Americans just don't eat pork.
right.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
it's been a hot minute. I do like me some bacon every once in a while, but I'll take turkey sausages. It's fine.
I lived with the health nut, and turkey bacon makes me angry. Like all that stuff, like turkey burgers, they killed it for me. And that person would, as default, they would cook chicken, and
Mm-hmm.
they made me hate chicken. So we would eat like we're like, oh, what are we having today? Barbecue chicken, cool. What are we having tomorrow? Tandoori chicken.
Mm.
There's a word that's still in there, like chicken.
There's nothing. I can eat chicken all the time. That's fine.
I just can't eat the same thing every day. I'll go mentally and like I need to switch it up, even if it's freaking pizza rolls. If I'm eating pizza bagels instead of pizza rolls,
Well, that's why
I
you have barbecue chicken and tandoori chicken and curry chicken. Like they're different flavors. It's not the same.
yeah, living with the health nut played it out for me. And if I ever see brown rice again, I will pull out what's left of my hair and run.
Well, I just don't understand the folks who want to be vegan, but then get the faux the fake chicken or the fake beef or all this stuff. Like, just don't. You either enjoy your vegetables or
I'm
eat the
big
real
on that
meat.
too. I'm big on that too. Like, give me the real stuff or get out of my house.
Yeah, yeah, most pork makes Kilroy not feel good. Thank goodness the lunch meats are fine. If I couldn't have an Italian sub, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I know there's
Same.
something about the Western New York, the Italian stallion subs or the suicide subs. My
Same.
roommate loved those.
I eat the exact same thing. I get the Italian sub every time. I'm the same way.
I just miss the chicken finger sub from Mary's Deli. No, pizza wings and things.
I felt like you just doxed me right now because there was a place that just closed by my house. It was called Mary's Deli.
I think in every town where there's an
Or
Italian,
Maria's. Or a
yeah,
Maria.
yeah, it's whether they serve tacos or subs and pizza.
We had this one place that was an authentic Italian deli. I miss it. It was a staple in my town. Back in my drinking days, you could get a big, thick Chicago style pizza and a huge pitcher of beer. It was affordable. And that guy decided to date his employees. He got sued, and
Yeah,
now
well,
his mom, she was in this town with no problems when he took it
right,
over.
right now she's like, son, you're an embarrassment. Get out.
Maria, she was so nice. She was so good to all of us too. Like she was like our Italian mom that gave us beer.
Right?
She was so good to her customer, and if you kept like she loved us all.
Yeah.
An overlock machine has 3 to 5 tension adjustments, one for each thread. Does this mean it will give the operator 3 to 5 tension headaches? No, not at
It'll
all.
give you 5 million. It's exponential.
I love these books because it keeps on saying, "Oh, a surgery isn't that complicated. You wouldn't have to put it in a book if it wasn't complicated."
Right? It wouldn't need its own manual.
If it comes with apologetics, I don't want to hear it.
If this book doesn't tell me to put my makeup on and make sure my housework is done and look pretty before I sit down, I'm not interested. Sorry, thanks, no thanks.
Exactly. It's just laughable. They try to make things. It's surgery propaganda. Oh man, I need a Pepsi. Maybe I need to drink some more coffee. I feel my
Right? Because
sugar dropping.
they need some way to try to encourage people to use it, or else it's just such a nightmare. And they're so noisy.
Absolute, absolute nightmare. And you are right. Every surgery, even brand new ones, sound broken.
I know there's why do they need to be so loud? Like I don't get it.
It's the one machine I just, you know what? Even my blind stitcher, I've got it firing again.
Oh,
Um, none of like I do not know how to work a serger.
oh, killer. That reminds me of an Italian place that shut down around here. The owner was legit from Italy, and he'd always get handsy with the waitresses. He sold the biz and went back to Italy just before COVID. That was probably a good choice. And that was where was I? Was I in Rome? I can't remember where. No, wherever the statue of Christopher Columbus is in Italy. Maybe that was Rome. No, I thought we were at the beach. It doesn't matter. That was the one place where like the I was 18 and like the 50-year-old guys were always like looking at you like I wasn't. I don't know. I don't. I'm not that much of a looker, but the guys were just all looky. Fortunately, nobody was handsy, but
In Americans, we still have the Puritan stain on us. On us.
that's true. My family's not lived here for that long, but it does kind of come with my country of origin.
Like even in certain parts of Mexico, PDA is illegal.
Right.
Like it just
Yup.
we're repressed on this side. Go go to certain places, everybody's dancing like the commercial.
Yes.
Or like I dated a Norwegian woman and she didn't understand why men's and women's bathrooms were separated. Because she'd
Yeah.
always say, in my country,
Right.
they had unisex bathrooms everywhere.
I guess if everyone has got their own stall, like that makes I can that makes sense,
If
or
it
it
makes you
just
feel any
seems
better,
less weird.
I get freaked out when I see girls in the bathroom at festivals.
Oh no, that's just because the ladies' line is so freaking long. Like I remember being a little kid, or at times sneaking into the men's room because there was no line to use the stall. But I don't know.
Absolutely, Kilroy. When the president got a BJ, it was a huge scandal. In France, it's just a Tuesday morning.
Thursday morning,
Exactly.
but yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah.
can't. This country's. It's really strange. I did know someone. Where did she go? It was one of my soccer mom friends. I'm still friends with her. She either went to Denmark or she went one of the fingers. Finland,
Okay.
one of the
Oh,
fingers.
Denmark. That no, that's Sweden, Norway, and
One of them.
Finland.
Probably Norway. She probably went to Norway.
Because Denmark is on
And
the continent. Yeah, go ahead.
sh- their her husband is loosely related, blah 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 blah. In their culture, they're hanging out. The grandparents, not realizing that she's an American, they walk up to the grandson and they're like, "Hey, do you want to go to a water park?" And they didn't tell the parents. And
Oh,
she lost it. And every time she tells a story, she's like, "I hate that country." Because they're just have a different culture. Like we're repressed in America. She didn't like the changing bathrooms. She didn't like it was just it's a very open society.
yeah,
You open a magazine, there's boobies in the magazine, there's boobies on daytime TV.
right.
Australia's like that too. I watched Australian television for a while and I'm like, are they showing like areolas on freaking
Oh,
daytime
yes.
TV?
Well, it wasn't on daytime. It was on Netflix, but Glitch, 3 seasons. Not horrible. I'm glad that it was interesting.
I obsessively watched this show called Houseos, and they were on daytime television in Australia, and it was raunchy. But we're Puritans in this.
Well, that's killer. I never got the whole separate bathrooms thing. Unisex always seemed more efficient. Then again, I have real problems to deal with. True.
Exactly.
I get it.
But
I
we're con-
kind of see it both ways. Only
I will say this though, in this country, we're conditioned because like I'm a product of everything I was raised by. I eat fish because my parents were obsessed with it. I speak a language because my mother spoke a certain language. Like, like you're exposed to certain things as a child. So if you live your whole life a certain way with unisex bathrooms, you're not even gonna flinch. To me, I think it's weird. I stand when my son is my size. When we go places, he goes to the bathroom. I stand in front of the stall like I'm his
oh,
bodyguard.
right, yeah, yeah.
He's my size.
Yeah, I think if everything's a stall, I guess it doesn't matter. It's more if it's just like an open trough, then I'm like, I need a little privacy. That's, I don't know. But yeah, I've had experiences that sometimes you want to know what you're going to run across, and sometimes things surprise you and you're not ready for it. Actually, not that I've had that experience, but never mind. Let's see here. What else do we got? No, I still don't have anything great. All the things I wrote up were terrible. Because that was ridiculous too. What was it? Another young basketball player died on the court this week. Caleb White.
I think it's because we're over. We treat our children like adults, and we now have whole institutions that take talented children and put them in camps and certain homes their entire
Yeah,
life. We're
yeah,
we're a light version of what the Chinese and Japanese do.
yeah. And I'm definitely against single sport specialization for folks under 18. Sports should be fun and to help you find an activity you enjoy doing for the rest of your life.
I
The
think we
thought
should
that
get
you're
rid
going
of
to be a
the. Sorry.
professional, you should just get rid of that because it's probably not going to happen.
I think we should get rid of the whole organization that has turned children's sports into a professional league.
Yeah,
We should get rid of that whole. I think it's creepy, but I
it
don't.
is.
My kid, like in my day, it was they were called tournament teams. They would get the best kids. Like you'd have
Oh
a
yeah, like
league,
the club teams. Yeah,
but those people loved what they did, and they weren't
right.
like they're paying parents to bring their kids to certain like, hey, bring your kid to Colorado to train for 6 months. Like, your kid
Yeah,
should be in school.
yeah. Well, they do have schools at this Olympic training facilities, but yeah, that's yeah. It's oh,
Colorado is the main one because that is, like you said, where the Olympic training
you're
facility
right.
is.
That's what made me think of it. I wonder if it's because of um the being so high above sea level. It's better for your cardiovascular output to train at such high altitudes, so they end up with better. You're more cardiovascularly fit training there than at sea level.
I think that's what it is. I love watching Dodger games in Colorado because when you hit a ball in LA, it'll go 200 feet. You hit one in Colorado, it goes 600 feet. I love that. It's just weird science.
Yes. The damned school sports have to raise their own goddamn money, make it like any other school club. None of this tax money going to school sports bullshit. Yes, because then that makes it seem like we don't value arts or creativity or these.
Oh,
I
excuse
don't.
me. We don't though because my school system taught me how to play the violin and I still know how to play.
You know,
They like in like from third, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, they taught me how to play the violin. And like they don't do that anymore.
no, or art, or even I don't know if they don't vocational school back home. They used to call it BOCES, and there was all sorts of stuff for the kids who got in the short bus, but all like the folks who learned how to be a beautician or an electrician or carpentry, we need to we need these skills.
Even I don't think we have shop anymore. There's certain schools like the high school I went to, they built a shop on campus so they will forever have shop class.
Yeah, we built it, now we must use it.
And I asked at a local recent chamber of commerce, I was like, do they still have blah blah blah? And they were like, yep, that building is still there. But
Yes.
we don't have arts anymore. We dissected animals in my high school.
Yep. Pigs
We
and
did real
birds
science,
and
you know.
frogs. Yep. Oh, the smell. Ugh. That's
That's
so
so
fun.
true, Gilroy.
In Texas, they'll build a multi-million-dollar stadium where the teachers have to get second jobs and teach in schools that are falling down. I know that's so ridiculous. I was hearing about somebody who worked for the local public health and still needed a second job. I'm like, if you work for the government, you should not need a second job. It, our priorities are so weirdly backwards. It just does not make sense to
But that's
me.
why divide and conquer works, because people are too busy fighting each other.
It's true. Yes, that is how they're keeping us down. And I'm so sick of it because,
That's
the,
why
oh God.
if you keep bread and circuses, the Romans were geniuses. Bread and circuses. If you give them a
Yes,
certain
come
amount
to
of
the
stuff,
circus. I won't feed you, but I will entertain you with my
they would. See,
shenanigans.
that's the thing. If you were a Roman citizen, you got free bread, a certain amount of bread every month, and you got to go watch people stab a tiger.
Right? Right, because there was no YouTube to watch it on the internet. Oh, curate, shop, and home ec are mostly got replaced by mandatory college prep classes because what we do nowadays is put kids into indentured servitude to college loans. Yes, I don't even. Yes,
Most kids, you know, it's pretty 50-50 because I grew up in a socioeconomically sound area, but most people I know didn't go to college. I was an anomaly by even attempting to go to college.
I go back and forth about whether it was the right choice, but I can't go back now. I could go on for weeks about this bullshit fear. I know, me too. It's so fucked up. And it's so expensive. And who, if you want to be a programmer, you don't need to go to learn how to code. You can do it free online. Like, there's so much stuff that we're like, oh, you need it like
Isaiah and I had this argument.
accessible, and you don't anymore.
I was pro college and he was anti college. And I was like, am I fighting on behalf of a system that I literally like threw up both middle fingers at?
Right? Right? Yeah, it was so much better when you used to have to, like, apprentice. There's other models of learning. And to, oh, I don't know. I can't go back and undo it, but I might have done it differently.
That's the
But
funny thing. Like, I try not to, I try not to look back too much.
right, I
As
know I'm
much as
gonna.
I live in the past, like I try not to like over evaluate because you could all there's a Doctor Who episode called Turn Left and it deals with like all the what ifs and it'll make your brain explode.
Yeah, I'm gonna default. I'm gonna. It's not even his statement, but Viva Frei keeps quoting Kierkegaard that the life can only be lived forward but understood backwards, or I have it backwards, understood backwards but lived forward, and it's so true. Unfortunately,
Absolutely. That's why, like, even nowadays, I try not. That's why I don't do well with the debate me, bro, all of that, because I don't think I know everything. I
no,
know that I don't know everything.
right? And I've gotten to this point that as soon as you start to, it's kind of like skydivers. Like as soon as you start to think you know enough to be brazen, that's when accidents happen. So,
Oh heck yeah, my pops used to always talk about that. Like people who rob banks, they get caught because they rob 10 banks instead
right,
of
you should
one.
have just stopped at the one.
Yeah. And they start getting arrogant and thinking that, oh, I can get away with this because I have all these other times. And then
Yeah,
they're in prison for 30 years.
right. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. I will BRB. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
All right. I can't believe I brought my serger back out. I guess it's time to start playing with this thing again. But I always say, like, sergers are what makes your clothes look professional. So you need a serger. And that's me mainly. That's me having a pep talk with myself. Oh, if brother knew what I did to this serger, they would literally sue me. But the Franken serger lives. I'm actually excited. Everything that's been happening lately, it's encouraged me to pull this thing out. My thing is, what are you gonna do? Get in your time machine? Exactly. That's the thing that bothers me too. I refuse to argue about things in hindsight like that. Actually, using your iron makes your clothes look. Let's hold on. Let me see if I can. Is this the good one or this is the one I broke? Oh, this is. Is this the good one? Oh, it is. It's just so dusty. It looks old. Oh, that's hilarious. This is like only 6 or 7 months old and it's already hairy and dusty. Oh, what is that on my? Let's clean the iron.
Okay.
Kilroy is berating me, but it's true. I just pulled my iron is as old as when I met you, and it's already completely covered in cake and dust. I need to clean my iron.
Right. Talk about what are you going to do? Get in your time machine fair. Using your iron makes your clothes look professional too. Yes, and Allie, I think the two of them, between Kilroy and Allie, we will be shamed for our lack of ironing on streams, but
And hems as well, because I'm the hem pirate. I don't play around. I'll just flop it over like that's a hem. That's a
that's
hem.
why
Call
they
it a
use the
hem.
narrow rolled hem foot. There's no need to iron. It just fixes itself.
I've really let this thing go. It's sat here.
But
And ironic, like my mother was not an ironer. She absolutely hated it because she was from the 50s.
yeah,
And my dad ironed everything because he was in the Navy. So,
right.
so I learned from a man on how to iron.
That's funny.
And my mom hated iron. I don't blame her. It's a freaking chore.
It is. It used to be on like the schedule of weekly chores. Like you washed one day and then you spent a whole day ironing the next day.
No, thank you.
No, I know.
Is this my new one? I can't tell because I always get like turquoise and purple ones.
Well, you should throw out the one that doesn't work, and then you would know.
Well, it's stuck on hot.
Okay. Oh, so it doesn't not work. It's just you can't iron synthetics or they'll melt.
A while ago, I dropped it and it broke the button inside of it. And so you can't adjust the dial. And it drove me mentally insane because, like you said, like I can only iron my jeans on that thing.
Right.
So I needed one that was a little bit more kind.
I know. I want to be bougie and get one of those gravity feeds, but I hate ironing. But maybe it would make me feel nicer if I had a fancy one. I know, Killer. I never saw my parents iron either. We had one, and you were the only one who used it. Fair. I did we even own an iron? My grandma did from sewing, but
My grandma was like real life white glove inspector. And so my mom was the exact opposite.
yeah.
She was like, just be presentable in public and don't embarrass me. That was her like real one. I don't care.
Well, that's good.
Like,
Keep the rules straightforward and simple. Wash one day, iron the next, sweep and vacuum the day after that. Exactly. Except at my grandma, she would sweep after every meal. She kept a military precise kitchen, though.
I do that though, like, but it's part of my habit. Like, I keep my kitchen clean because it's a room I hang out in. It's weird. Like, it's so
Yeah.
weird. And now that with my blinds in there, it's one of the coldest rooms in the house. And it's all blacked out when it used to be one of the brightest rooms in the house, and it's all
It's
blacked
amazing
out now.
what curtains do to keep the temperature down.
Oh, they changed it. It's completely changed that. I've had to move all my indoor plants.
No, you just needed different plants. You need the low light succulents for that window now.
I have one on my fridge that it makes me feel like an adult because it's still alive.
I know. I got a Stapelia because my sister, the last time they visited, shared me one. I dehydrated that one. Now I'm trying to kill this one too, and we've been going so well for like so many months. I'm like, what did I do wrong? So I keep like ripping the stems off so I can try to like save it, parts of it. Ugh. I almost got a fish tank yesterday, but then the fish who'd lived in a cup for a week with no food was like, "We're not dead yet." I'm like, "All right, I can't take home this fish tank to make it a terrarium."
Oh wow. So you don't want the fish.
The fish wasn't mine. They thought the fish was dead, so I was going to get the tank. But
Oh.
it turned out the neglected fish was like, "No, we're just chilling over here."
It was like, you dumb human, I'm still here.
Right. Just because you forgot to change my water, the tank was turning green, and you haven't fed me. But I'm a survivor.
Odin is, that totally reminded me of Odin. She's so smart now. Like, she hangs out near my back window and watches me.
Oh,
She's
funny.
like, well, that and because I haven't cut my tree, it's all shady in my backyard.
Right. Yep. She's like, this is safe for me, and I get fed here, so and I've got water, so I like it here.
And like, it's the concrete is weirdly cool because it never is touched by the sun because my tree,
Yeah.
it's so bad I might have, no, I'm ignorant. I do not pay people for the tools I have. Like, I would never pay someone to cut my tree down considering I have the tools.
Right. If you're frankly just going to cut it down and there's no power lines involved, then whatevs.
The backyard trees are different. The front yard, like, you gotta call it, it's stupid city. That's why we have those tiny trees in front.
It's been, it's been a rough few years when even the pet fish wants to take a nap. Yeah. Yes. All right. Two rolled hems on the circle skirt portion of this perfectly pumpkin petticoat done. Now to do the strips that are going to be the gathering. It took, I don't know why it took me like 3 days of staring at pictures of can dancer skirts to be like, are they ruffled? And I still am not sure. So if somebody has an answer, Yali, why are you not here to answer my question? Ruffles on both sides, or do they just turn their petticoats inside out to have the ruffles on the inside when you lift your skirt up and show your knickers? I don't know. I'm just gonna ruffle one side and then have it so it can be reversible, so I can have the ruffles on the inside or the outside. But this is a massive skirt petticoat.
Young Mr. Sewing is gonna sleep so good tonight because I bought him weights and he's been working out.
Oh, good. And he's been yelling. I don't hear him anymore. So.
There's no way a human being can yell that much for that long. Like, we're not Rush Limbaugh. Come on.
No,
Like,
I seriously thought you had a different dog. I was like, what is that? Did you get a dog and not tell us? Like, what's
he
happening?
loses it. And the funny thing is, like I always say, there's I'm in a separate room than the house, and there's a
Right?
good 3 feet that separates doors.
Well, it was very impressive. He got quite the pair of lungs and vocal cords.
I can't hang. He makes me jump because my house is sleepy quiet, and then he'll scream. I jump.
Right? Oh, I'm so glad. I'm not a huge watcher. I'm not. Well, we've established this. I'm not a huge video game person. I tried motion sickness and hand-eye coordination like that were just not my friends. So I'm not usually one to watch folks play
I was
video
going.
games and comment. But the
I
life
was
of Boris, go it. Oh, I'm like, no, I'm
no,
not
it's my
doing
fault.
it. Go for
Long
it.
story short, I was saying the same thing that you said to my ex-wife. I was like, "This has got to be bad for your health." She looks at me and she's like, "I've never put that thing on." I said, "What? Like, you never even tried it?" She's like, "No, I'll Ralph."
Yeah, seriously. Boris got a VR headset and was trying to play video games, and I was like, it was the one of the few videos he's made that I like literally. I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to go hurl, and then he was like, "This is like drinking a whole gallon of vodka," and I was like, "Yeah, I feel the same way, bro."
It's I a long time ago. When I say long time ago, I mean like 6 or 7 months ago. I ate a few edibles and put it on, and it was an experience. But I literally sit in the lobby like this, just looking at all the stuff. Like, that's literally what I do. I don't go anywhere. I like that weird little, like, cave lobby thing, whatever it is. I like that.
Allie Grabier must be meeting with some famous sewing person or something. Oh, yes, that is too funny. I know. If I was closer, they're having their meetup in Montgomery Labor Day weekend, and Ziggy, who was on the show once, is doing all sorts of merch for them. Oh, I should. I'm not going to show them off right now, but I do have the first two sets of the JFK assassination trading cards.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because a couple weeks ago we chatted and she was asking all sorts of questions about streaming and not being a weirdo or like feeling like she was good enough. And I was like, I'm a nobody, but I can tell you my experiences, even though I don't feel like I know anything. And she was like, do you want some glassware, or do you want trading cards? And I was like, you don't need to do this. And she was like, no, you're going to steal my joy if you don't accept something. So I was like, all right, I'll take the trading cards. But I know, I was like, it's okay. We're all weirdos. We're not going to. Shoot, I must have had 3 people unsubscribe this week because last week I was so excited. I had my 69th subscriber. Checked in today, I was at 67, but then I saw I had a new subscriber last night, so I must have been down to 66. And
Mine
then,
go
yeah,
up mine go up and down all the time. Especially like when you hit milestones, you have to take a picture of it because you're either gonna go up or down in the
exactly right.
anytime I hit a 69 or a 666, I
Yeah,
screenshot it every time.
I know. I should have. I was like, oh, we were there for a hot minute, and then, but that's all right. I don't care. I'd rather.
People
I'm
are
monetized on Rumble, and I don't need to meet some arbitrary metrics for it.
that's you can't be too much in the numbers because they'll kill you. Like
Yeah,
I try not to be too much in the analytics, even though it lets me know what country people are watching from.
I think, yeah, I've got one Canada, and I think most people are the States, but
That's Ollie. That's Ollie.
right. And I don't even think I have enough subscribers to get that data. I just know from the guess from the chat.
I'm still going strong with my India and Russia. My peeps. That's who I think my lurkers are. Like when there's like a bunch of people in the chat not talking, I
Yeah,
think they don't they don't know our language necessarily. And imagine
they're
like if you're from Russia, like you don't know American nomenclatures just as much as I do not know Russian nomenclatures. So there's
they're, and I wonder too if they did chat the if they were typing, if their keyboard is Cyrillic, if the comments would have come up in Cyrillic, and then you would have been like, I don't know how to read this. This is not my alphabet. Please try again.
okay.
But that's a
When someone subscribes to me, I always check and like lately it's been a lot of people from India
mm-hmm.
and like I will go on your channel.
Right.
I will
I
because I
will
will.
stalk you.
Well, I love seeing how other people live because
Yeah.
like we're so sheltered as Americans. When I hear Americans say something, I'm like, please get off of Twitter, sir, because you are making us all look bad. You're
Oh,
making every American like Africa is not a country. Get out of here. Get
oh,
out of here. Every
yeah.
time someone says that, my head explodes.
Fair.
Or like when people in Texas were burning snow, I was legitimately screaming at my computer, like, stop it, you're making us look bad. Like,
Oh.
stop it, Texas. Don't show your stupidity to the world.
No, I used to joke when I lived in New York that after the first of the year, I would go out with a hair dryer and just melt all the snow because I was so over it by then.
Oh, oh man. And like I always say, I always like this motivational speaker I used to watch, he would always say this, but it's true. In England, they have a bookstore on every corner, and in America, we have a liquor store on every corner.
Are
Figure
you
it
sure
out.
it's not and a Starbucks?
Well, he said this in 1995.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay, fair. Where the liquor stores hadn't been replaced by Starbucks
Yeah,
yet.
that was like his fame was because he would go all around the world. He was so famous that like we used to pass around VHS tapes of him.
Oh, funny.
That's the old school underground
Right.
fame.
Yeah. Yes. And if you really liked it, you'd hook up two VCRs and then record it onto a blank tape or tape over the spot so that you could tape record on a tape that you were not supposed to record over.
There was one time my cousin and I got in a fight over a tape. We didn't talk for a week. Every single one of his lectures that anyone ever taped is now on YouTube for free. You can
Oh,
literally, well, some people have monetized this stuff, but you can watch every lecture he's ever put out.
yeah. That I know. I go back and forth about like like when is it worth it to charge for knowledge versus when should knowledge just be freely given?
I am subscribed to Stanford, and I'm surprised they give college courses for free. I've learned so much from Stanford that like I
Mm,
should get an alumni freaking T-shirt. Like, but true? Where is that line? Because there's people that pay gobs of money to go to these schools.
exactly. And now that they're trying to say well, it must have been somebody who was not from this country trying to be like, oh, American universities should legacy admissions aren't. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm like, yes, there is. Paying people your school, alma mater gobs of money to get your kid in does not make your kid worthy of that spot unless they're academically, unless they earned it. Like, no, that's like,
I have a friend whose father was beyond what we would consider rich. All three of his kids went to college, and only one was like that stereotype. Only one. But he came out of college with an education, though,
yeah,
and a skill. But he was old. The other two were geniuses, but their parents paid for them to go to college.
yeah, no, I've got stupid loans and a very expensive brain that will take me forever to pay off, if ever. But that's my problem, not a you problem. Ugh, that's
I'm gonna do a fabric haul tonight. I just need to wake. I need to get over my vampire hours.
yes. School is it's a school night. You gotta go to bed early.
But I get energized around like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. That's when I like literally start hulking up, like, or I start getting inspired. If I'm like cutting patterns at 11:45 at night, I'm gonna be up all night.
Yeah,
I just like there are certain things I stop myself. There's sometimes I'll be like, okay, if you start this project, you won't stop for the next like 6 hours.
right.
So you need to back up.
Is this? Are we really gonna actually get all of this work done tonight, or should we just
And
stop?
also, like a rush job is a rush job.
That's true, but I
So
mean, I had to start yesterday with because I was a good kid and cut the skirt out and then let it hang overnight before I put my rolled hem. Did I re-level it? Of course not. I just was like rolled hem. Nobody's gonna notice with all the flounces and floof.
I need to refold my fabric. They were so liberal with their counts. I'm going back.
Right? I might have
I'm
to. You
gonna
might
show
have
you.
to
I'm gonna in
you
my
call me
video.
and I'll put it in order.
Oh my
I'll,
gosh, it was insane. And they're measuring with yard. She literally grabbed like half a yard with her hand and then put a stick out. And I was like, I love you. Because I
right?
already got that whole. And this one guy was like, oh, there's a cut on this one piece. I'll give you more. I asked for 4. He probably gave me 7.
No. Oh my gosh.
He was so happy. But like there was one little nick, and I would have just cut around it
Right.
or patched it if I hadn't seen it.
Exactly. It's gonna right. Let's. Oh, killer. I think colleges are redundant for 80% of the things they teach. Obviously, you need them for doctors or lawyers, but most of the rest can be done over the internet. I concur. But then even back a jillion years ago, even doctors and lawyers were apprentice schools or apprentice trained. It wasn't university.
I was about to say, because I know someone that got a PhD in psychology, and they spent most of their time hanging out with other psychologists.
Oh, well, yeah, I think that's one of those degrees that you get into because you need help,
I
like
come
trying
from
to
a
fix
family.
yourself.
I come from a family of psychologists. Every single one of them are trashed humans who do
Yeah,
not like themselves. They
right.
are the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
It's almost up there with realtor where I'm from. And when I say this is with pure jealousy, because I knew people that were dumber than a box of rocks that are now like multimillionaires because they got in the real estate game when they were 18, and we're all in our 40s now.
right. If you can talk and look pretty. Oh, speaking of realtors, I've been rewatching that Santa Clarita Diet. Oh man, I feel like trash, but it still makes me laugh.
With Drew Barrymore.
Yes, I know, but she kind of turned me off with. I don't even want to speak their name. Getting on her knees in front of that person. Okay, we're not talking about them, but
Okay,
it was
let's see.
it was funny.
Um, oh, never mind. I was gonna put something in the private chat, but it's not a big deal.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna bring this up last week and I didn't, and it's late enough. I'm hot enough, so I might as well throw out a spicy topic, which is shouldn't. Well, we'll see how this goes over. But what about so? If everybody wants to be equal, should individuals who transition to male before the age of 18 or identify as male before the age of 18 have to register for the selective service in order to get their federal whatever benefits that you are not you're opted out of if you don't, and I don't understand because I didn't have to do that, but
I'm gonna try something new that is
okay.
so spicy. We're gonna have to sing taco flavored kisses after this one,
Okay.
and I'm gonna do a dance with it. It's not my issue.
Fair.
No, because I get trashed. I get trashed every time I say something, or every time, like, honestly, it's not my issue. If I cross that bridge, I'll tell you my
No,
opinion.
well, you could. It is a little bit because you did have to register for the selective service.
But I'm a male identifying male.
True. Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
there's no like there was never. I ripped up the draft card to take off my dad, and he grabbed me by my gruff and took me to the recruiter. A little bit different time. It was a little bit of a different. Literally
Fair.
grabbed me by the back of my shirt. Was like, "Oh, you're trying to be slick, huh?" That's how I found out they don't take
Cosmetics.
yeah. That's how I found out. And I looked at him like I gave him the Nelson laugh, like ha ha, like I got to go to college now.
Oh darn. Let's
I
see
think
here.
they'll never bring back the draft anyway, so
Yeah,
I just get rid of it.
and save the admin costs. Fair. That that is an option.
And because of honestly, the military, see, this is all social construct, because back in the day the military didn't care. The military didn't care, and man, my pops has so many stories. Like, he told me so many stories. No one cared back then. Who or what you were, what you wanted to wear, as long as you did your job.
Right. Right. Because we came back. There. There is that point. We used to live in a day where you just wanted to. You showed up. You did your job. What you did after hours was your business. As long as you did your job, nobody cared. And now we're leading with, but I'm privileged XYZ ways. That's what's ruined it.
And once you're 26, you're basically free and in the clear. And when it comes to selective service, so it's not God was his problem. Exactly.
Right.
I'm
Too
old.
old. I
I'm
aged
old.
out.
No, because like I am for every human, but like just there are certain things that I'm no longer gonna fight certain fights anymore because they're not my issue. It's not my issue.
Fear, yeah.
And certain ones have tried to destroy my life and I don't even live them, you know.
Right.
You
Yeah,
didn't need to be straight. You just needed to just shoot. Thank you.
right.
Like I'm telling you, my mom, her best friend, his name was Bill, and he was a super what I call like bathhouse 1980s gay. He
Okay.
he was he was a knob. He died of HIV of what
Mhm.
I call bathhouse AIDS in the early
Yeah.
90s. He actually is someone like that was I always say I had a positive influence of men in my life, and he was one of them. He was
Yeah.
a knob, and he was obviously super duper flaming gay,
Hmm.
you know, and he made it all the way through Nam and was never changed one bit. Well,
Right.
himself, you know.
Yeah.
I think we over like the vocal minority has more say now because we're all in touch with each other.
Yeah, probably.
Because the average person like does it. I don't look over in the car next to me and say, "I wonder where that person is going today." I don't care. I gotta go to work. Like,
Fear. Well, and the funny thing too that makes me laugh is on the counterpoint of some of this, all of the many of the professional bodybuilder ladies who end up using testosterone or SARMs, but are the girl, they're like always like, oh, people say to them like, oh, hey man, and like they think they're trans, but they're the girliest ladies
yeah.
on the planet, most of them.
I actually knew a woman who was a bodybuilder, and she was, you know, she was a girly girl.
Yeah, they're sauced, but they are the girliest girls.
She was jacked. We were the exact
Oh
same
yeah,
size then. She was jacked, but
right,
anybody see, but that's the human thing again.
right,
I think I'm kind of over all these divide and conquer issues because
yeah,
recently, like I was I don't even know how to say this nicely. I think we don't deal with mental health. We have all these small
yeah,
little issues that we're not dealing with, but there's a bigger picture. No one's okay. Everybody should
right.
sit down with an effing counselor. Everybody, like,
And a physical therapist, I think.
I
But
agree. No, I agree. Like this country, like I bought Isaiah a bar today, and I told him this bar is gonna change your life, bro.
yeah,
Like this weight bar, if you stick to it, you'll get gains. I can't believe I said that word.
yep,
You'll
newbie
start
gains. He's gonna get
you'll
sick with a triple C.
Oh yeah, he's gonna start getting gains and he's gonna stick with it. Like once you start seeing results, that's when you're like, oh, this works, you know.
Yeah, I'll send you the link for that advertisement for the Strongman show next week.
I
And
miss those. I miss
what
all
that?
of those.
Oh, what was their new T-shirt? Oh my God, they've got the Bulldog double spicy ramen shirt coming out next week. I might buy a new T-shirt because I want it.
That's one thing I'm really proud of myself when I went to the Cajones yesterday. I didn't buy like a powered by Menudo or like beans power my life. Like I didn't like this is the first time I ever went to the alley shops and didn't buy a stupid t-shirt because I'm addicted to stupid t-shirts. The only one I ever bought that didn't shrink was I bought a Baracho Nation because people like do not like Raider fans. Raider fans are feared. And so they're called drunks. Like people are like, oh, Raider fans are mainly like alcoholics and like, and it's not far from the truth. So I bought a Baracho Nation t-shirt, and it's the only one that hasn't shrunk on me. And that was like 10 years ago I bought that shirt.
Right when clothes were still made out of real clothes.
But
That
now
did
the
make
stuff
sense.
like I bought a lottery card t-shirt. Man, that thing went from an extra large to here, son. This is a extra small now.
Your
In
testicles
one
haven't come in. Why don't you put this one on?
he's outgrown it. Like it went from adult large to something that my child wore to school. But his school was so politically correct. They he would always come with his t-shirt inside out. And I'd
Oh,
always put him with an undershirt, so I didn't care.
right. Yeah, I'm sick of schools policing what kids wear to school. Like, if you go to a school with a dress code, make it clear, but or just
I
put kids in uniforms. I don't know, so there's no issues. Like, God, the
I
girls with
hated
the
it.
t-shirts or the short shorts who are, I don't know.
They called me one time. I hung up the phone. They were like, "Mr. Sturkey, oh, I just
Right? We
Mr.
don't know
Sewing."
nothing. Blah 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 blah
anyways,
blah blah.
anyways, long well, it's already known. But anyways, long story short, they called me and they were like, "Do you know your son's wearing a Bad Religion t-shirt?" And I'm like, I put it on him and I hung up the
Right?
phone.
I, I don't
Like, is this
let the
really
kid
what
leave
you
the
called
house
me?
without seeing it. Like, who dropped him off? Not his mom.
Yeah. And I don't care that I doxed myself. My last name's famous. Look me up. Look me up.
Hey,
I'm already super duper dogs. Oh no, we're streaming. We're streaming.
yeah, we're live and
See, this is
live.
none of us get sleep. We start slipping. All of us.
Yeah, we slipped downhill hard. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't even. I'm not even going to put my camera on because I look like a glazed donut. But Freya Fruffers decided she needed to groom me yesterday, and she literally licked off a layer of skin, and now I've got like road rash on my arm.
That's the
It's
worst.
like the sweetest thing, but it kind of hurts. I liked the strict dress code in Catholic school. It completely prevented the "ooh, look at what I'm wearing" drama that filled the public schools. There is a benefit to a uniform.
That was some life ruining stuff back in the day. Like if you had Payless shoes, people wouldn't talk to you. If you like, man, as an adult, I loved Payless.
That's right.
I miss knockoff shoes because I have a big foot, so it's hard for me to buy a pair of shoes that's under $100 just for some like sneakers to walk around the house.
Yeah, I don't know. I did splurge on $89 sneakers the year I needed my expensive ankle surgeries, but
The You know what? I will say though, like that caused a lot of problems. I was in junior high and high school, like how you dressed, like it did cause a lot of issues. And not just with me, like if you dress like a gangster, you were assumed to be a
right.
gang. Maybe
Oh,
you're just like,
all the wiggas who had their pants down, all the white boys who had the do rags
I
and
don't miss that era.
pants. No, if I can see the top of your underwear, like I don't want to see crack kills kids, and I don't want to see your droopy boxers.
I had extremely strict parents. Like my dad was the pants patrol. He would pull your pants up for you.
If you can't wear a belt, I'll give you these suspenders. Damn it!
Well, the whole Dr. Dre thing that all started when I was like elementary, so I was trying to,
Yeah,
so by the time 96 came around, I thought I was copying the music videos. I thought I was a gangster, you know.
exactly.
My pops had to remind me that I was like more Malibu's Most Wanted,
Right.
which is now considered a slur if you say that to a Caucasian individual trying to be like Jamie Kennedy. If you call them Malibu's Most Wanted, it's considered a slur now.
What isn't a slur these days, though?
I heard someone say that, and I was like, I'm too old for this. See, that's what goes back to where now I just say, it's not my issue. That's
Yeah,
not I've had to learn to be like, no, like, because a lot of this stuff, I just feel like I'm too old for it. I just don't understand a lot of these weird, petty arguments.
it's true. And I mean, I understand. I've had times of body dysmorphia, and that
I think like, who
we
has,
dealt
and
with
I'm not trying to equivocate because it drives me mentally insane when people equivocate, but who hasn't? You know what I'm
it.
saying?
Right.
Like in the modern era, I have mirrors in this room that when you turn the corner, you instantly, and I have it from the neck down because I'm constantly looking at my clothes.
Right.
This room screams body dysmorphia.
Right. Well,
because
sewing
I
your own
can't look
clothes a little
myself
bit.
in
You
the
have to
face.
be honest. Like your clothes either fit or you don't, and you got to know your measurements.
Well, that's more because I'm constantly trying on combos because I
Yeah.
like you have to have writing combos, you have to have work combos,
Right.
like I can't or like driving, you know.
Do these driving gloves match these pants?
I can't wear super tight pants when I'm driving because my wallet it makes my left nalga no my right nalga go numb.
Okay. Yeah. That you should. Well, you shouldn't be sitting on your wallet anyway.
It
But
only started happening recently until I started driving that Camry, but I got my car back, my car fixed, so it doesn't happen anymore.
oh, good.
Because the Flex is made for people with wide nalgas.
Good. Okay. I not that I have that issue, but Kilroy can't care about everything true, or you'll wind up tighter than a drum and die 25 years before your time. Very true.
Someone I
I'm gonna be
respect.
bitching and bitching
Um,
until I'm 150. Damn it, you're stuck with me.
I know somebody who had a stroke, and it changed my life because I'm very much like that person. I was like, uh oh, I better change. I'm a happier version of him because he hates everything. My ex-wife's stepdad, he's a cool guy, but he is the angriest human being you'll ever meet. He's a scary 6'3" biker dude with a Fu Manchu.
Oh god. Okay.
Blonde, older blonde guys, and he's a welder, so he's got that Hulk Hogan skin.
Ah.
He's a scary dude, but I know him, so he doesn't scare me. But like he had a stroke and he would come home and be like, I'm cursed by God. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, if you believe it, it's true. Like if you tell yourself that over and over, then like you could make it true. Like,
Yeah,
and
you are
I'm
kind
a
of asking for problems.
yeah, like you are what you put out, and people trash me for that. But like I learned from him, like because I'm an intense guy, but I'm more like let's get the job done and then play hard after. He was like let's play hard while we're doing the job.
I just try to take up the I if I'm having strong feelings, I would rather be laughing than hold up in the corner crying. So I just make bad jokes. Try to laugh at myself frequently.
My laugh is my Ned Flanders diddly.
Yeah.
That's my knee jerk reaction. I told you I laugh at inappropriate. Like if there was
Yes.
ever a bank robbery, I would be the first one to get shot because I start laughing. I would just be like, ha 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 ha. They're like,
Are
why are
you?
you
Is
laughing?
that
I don't know.
real? Are you sure this is a standoff? You can fly by the handle once in a while, but all of the time is just hard on your system. It is. It's. I don't think it's thermodynamically favorable to waste that much energy on things that are fruitless.
And because he was intimidating, he got like people let him get away with it. I never let him get away with it. But people like that, like bullies, you have to remind them like you can't bully me.
Right?
And they
Yeah.
weirdly respect you. So we got along.
I know. I'm tiny but fierce.
He just saw that I wasn't gonna put up with his stuff, but he's an example. Like you can't be at 100 all the time. He had a stroke. And
Yeah.
like I saw him at the dispensary. The entire left half of his body is like barely coming back, and it probably
Mm,
won't completely.
hmm
But he still smokes.
Well, right, but at least he's got two hands to hold and roll and light
He's only
enough.
he would buy a carton every 3 days of cigarettes.
Wow.
He smokes more. My dad smoked like that and died of lung cancer. So I know like he's in his 50s early if he's in his no, there's no way he's almost 60 maybe. But he's already had a stroke and he smokes like 4 or 5 packs a day.
Wow. How do you smoke in your sleep at that rate, or do you just like continuously like light one from the old one? I don't. I. That's impressive. Like I had a fit last week and I felt great afterwards. If I had one every day, my throat and voice would be trashed in a week. Fleur Killeray. I had times. There was a time in my life where I would scream and yell in my car so that nobody would hear me. But
If I ever show up talking like Batman, I had an episode the day before.
right, or you did 3 6-hour streams in a week.
You know what? Honestly, that was the first time that I had lost my voice without completely going full Karen in a long time. In a long time.
You lost your voice for good reasons and not because you were pissed off.
No, like what you just said, sometimes like in certain situations I would feel like I wasn't heard
Yeah.
and then I would take it to 1,000 and I couldn't talk the next day.
Oh, yeah, no, it was mostly after my grandma died and I just like cried and screamed at the steering wheel 'cause I missed her. I still do blah, 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 blah.
Which really ticks me off because I can never be in a death metal band.
But yeah, I
I
can't
want to
write.
be I want to be in one of those raw, raw, raw bands because they like say
You're not going to
five
be
lines.
backup singer for Guar.
I read this article, like I'm in a Cannibal Corpse, and the lead singer Corpse Grinder has a amusement park and like vending machine
Okay.
addiction. He gives away all of the prizes he wins to charity.
Oh, that's sweet.
It made me laugh. So dude, Cannibal Corpse is hard effing core. Like it's real, like rah, 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 rah.
Well, it's like, see, like Alice Cooper, who then goes home on Sundays to teach Sunday school. Like, he's such a religious human, and his persona is like, what?
I thought that was I love people like that because they're not their stereotype, you know.
No, we're not our. No, don't. Maybe we should add that onto the closing taglines. Don't be a stereotype.
Do you know my predecessor used to say that to me all the time? He used to say be anything but a stereotype. But he was from my pops was from like the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s when you
Right. So the
had to
right, exactly. You didn't want to be those stereotypes
yeah,
because,
like
like,
the guy in Hawaii 5 come on, man. Like you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. I still live like that. Like I did that to my son. I made him watch the Kai Cenat riot.
mm,
I was like, don't be like these people.
yeah, this is not aspirational.
Don't
I don't
don't
think he
don't
did.
follow these people.
I wonder if he really expected that to happen, though. I
He's
mean,
in
I
in
mean,
his
he's kind of an
response.
incel and dumb, but go ahead. Hey, hands.
In his response, his answer was very childish. So I don't think he understood. He gave a hard time to the people that looted and rioted, but his response was half-ass.
Yeah. Let's see here, Killer. A lot of those hardcore guys are like that. They're complete scholars and gentlemen, and they mainly put on the hardcore act as a part of a game
Hey,
they play with the world. That is true. Yes. Oh, it was just. I heard Alex Jones on the quartering the other day, and as much of a. I didn't know what to think in the 90s, and he might have said some distasteful stuff, but he's one of the most well read. Like, I think that man's read more books and articles. Well, A, he's had more time, but he's so well read and so articulate.
who's that?
Alex Jones.
I think he's I think okay, but again, like, because I would always get advice because I was raised by someone who's literally a senior citizen. He would always tell me there's a fine line between being brilliant and plumb loco, to quote my father. But the truth is, like, the day you start believing your own BS and you become the character that people think you are, you've lost. He became Alex Jones, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, I
Like,
want to be Phoenix and run my own ring mistress of the circus, and I'm doing it.
I look when people talk trash about the Kardashians, I always remind them that Kim Kardashian built an empire off of promoting other people's stuff. You are not that smart. I always tell people that you are not that smart. She figured it out, you
Right,
know.
I'm not that pretty, and I don't have that much money for plastic surgery, nor do I want to be under the knife that much.
Same. See all the above. I agree with you.
Right, I mean, when I had my ankle upgrade and was literally told you have to keep your ankle above your heart for 23 hours a day for literally 2 weeks. That was hard.
We
And
have
I
a
still
saying
figured out
about
how to exercise.
We have a Kim Kardashian saying of not so bad for a talentless hack. Like she's
Yeah,
made all like she may be talentless, but she made all of that money. She can't act, she can't sing,
right.
but she she figured it out.
She did.
But that word influencer drives me insane, just like activist. As someone, I could easily call myself, um,
Right, a special
uh,
needs activist.
yes, but that's just what I do. Like I don't consider myself anything like that. It's just weird when people take
Right, you
those
don't need to
titles.
flex with that. You're like, I just do it and I go home and I make sure my kid is fed and watered and clean.
Yeah, that's it. And brushes his teeth, and his hair drives me crazy. And then he moisturizes his hair.
Wait, I'm not special. Maybe that's too. We're the last of kids who were not participation trophy kids. So if you got something, you actually worked for it. It's not like I showed up. Hey, here's your award.
But that's why people will say, like, in the real world, like I'll see videos and it's some entitled person will walk up to someone and they're like, "Oh, you're about to find out what the real world is like because you're about to get wrecked and no one cares. No one's gonna care after you get wrecked."
Right. Like, and that's just a Tuesday. The real activists don't post about it on social media. They're too busy with other things. Exactly. You just show up, you do your stuff, you do it quietly. Like, it's between you and your maker.
My mom has been on TMZ like 5 or 6 different times as a reference to her field, and like she doesn't act like she's in like in SAG or anything.
Yeah.
She knows the field. They called her and she started giving them answers, so they called her back.
Right. Oh my gosh, speaking of TMZ, I cannot believe Reptile You Don't Exist Lady decided to do a TMZ interview. I think I talked about this earlier. She should have just shut up and left. And she doesn't even look like herself. And there doesn't look like I don't know. Just
Reptile
yeah,
TMZ.
Lori the plane lady. You know what I'm talking about. Or the alien plane lady lizard thinger majiggers.
What's her name?
So, Gomas is her last name. I forgot her first one.
Oh. Again, first off, because she's good looking, everyone cares.
I know
If
she should have just shut up and just leave the poor human alone.
Yes. If she looked like the butcher's wife, nobody would care.
Right? Nobody would have cared if I did that. I'm not that pretty. They're like, who's this fat short person screaming stuff? They wouldn't have even seen me because I barely stand up above the seats of the plane. Nobody would have noticed if I went off.
Oh no, we live in the era of cameramen. They would have stood up to get your face. Like people are so heartless nowadays. Like
That is true.
I watched a video of some idiot putting manure on themselves and everyone just stood around and was taping it.
Oh, why would that statement?
It was
Couches
a
stink.
young it's on Twitter. Some young woman, I believe it was in Texas,
Okay,
saw a
well,
pile of manure and decided to rub it on herself.
maybe that's the new facial. Well, hey, I'll take the manure massage to the manure meal.
I would smell her and cross the street.
Yes.
I would jaywalk and get a ticket. And when the cop stopped me, I'd be like, "She smells like manure, sir.
Oh no,
Give
they're
me the
not. They
ticket."
got rid of the jaywalking tickets because they were racist.
Well, she's in Texas. Where it's funny you would say that because what? And the funny thing is, I laughed because downtown people are standing in the street. They want you to. It's surreal. It's like Mexico City. People are standing in the street because they want you to park in their parking lot because
Yeah,
certain people own certain parking lots. It's a racket. So you already
right.
have to drive slow so you don't hit people. And now that it's legal for them to jaywalk, they can stand in the middle of the street like the freaking traffic cops.
Yeah.
But I really didn't see too many people jaywalking. But the
Maybe it was
streets
because
in
the
down
daytime, the drug users were still asleep. They hadn't woken up yet.
I am the early bird. I was the first on the scene though. I was there
I will
with
find the free on street parking. Damn it.
That's why, like, when I took my picture, the sun was still rising in the east. Wasn't even overhead yet.
There needs to be a sting on that manure massage place. That's got to be a threat to public health. I know. That makes me just laugh thinking about going to the. I'm sure
Ew.
I'm not the only one, but the dairy farm, the dairy festival, and the cow. My grandma used to call it the cow perfume. All the manure smells from the farms.
So my cousin, I have a really rocky relationship with a lot of my family, just and it's all
You,
socioeconomic.
yeah, yep, you said.
But my cousin, she's in her 50s or 60s. She's had a really hard life, but her and her husband, they've made themselves a good coin.
Mhm.
They always buy these 9 bedroom, 10 bedroom houses, okay? They live in a town in California that's there's more cows than human.
Okay. Oh, so you can afford a house that big? I'm like, I don't need that
So
much space, but
they buy these properties, but you better like the smell of manure.
or have really good air conditioning and air filtration.
I think they go nose blind because for a while they always smelled poopy to me until I started smoking cigarettes.
Uh huh.
Because then I couldn't smell anything.
Fair. Because then they literally did smell poopy living that close to all the farms.
Literally across the street from a 1,000 acre cow farm.
I think that isn't that just noisy too. Like besides the smell, I don't know.
It's a trade-off. Do you want to live like a rapper on a property? And but like and it, like I remember being in a as a kid, I remember being in my cousin's pool because she always got above ground pools. I remember being in the pool and like floating and being like, I can see endless cow fields from here.
Yeah, I think I'd take the endless cemeteries and stone or headstones to all the cows. I like it quiet. I wouldn't. I wouldn't know what to do with 10 bedrooms. I exactly. I don't want to have to clean that much space. It would be impossible for me to just keep exactly to keep up with the cleaning. That's I have enough. I have a hard enough time with the amount of space I have.
Same. I think about that. Like I always talk about, I almost took over my grandma's house, but I'm so glad I didn't.
Yeah, I know. Well, the cost of heating and cooling, because heating's not that much for you, but the,
No, we
the
don't need heating
utilities
like we
just
need
sound
cooling.
terrible, right?
It
I
was
know.
I She had a giant house and my mom kept on telling me, you don't want to live here. You don't want to live here, bro. Like you don't understand how much money you spend like just to live here.
And the property taxes on that spot's probably like the whole kit and caboodle of it. Like,
And you're gonna flinch, but their HOA is like 5 or 6 a month.
oh God, no. Well, I hard pass. I will not live where there's an HOA. You can go shove it, HOA.
I was redoing her house when Leonard Nimoy died, and I hung the very Federation flag that is in this room. I hung it. My grandma had this huge entry hall, and she lived at the bottom of a hill. And so, if you were driving through the neighborhood, you saw her house.
Mhm.
And I put my Federation flag. They sent me a letter marked in the mail that literally came within a day and a half.
Right, you were served priority mail of like you were not following the rules.
They were like, "Sir, we know you are the grandchild." I'm gonna find that. They were like, "You need to take
It
that down."
doesn't matter.
And they sent me a copy of the rules. Like,
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
it's creepy when people are watching you like
Yeah,
that.
that's why I will not have. I'm not no ring camera. No, I will. I do not consent to third parties stealing my likeness and using my footage. You need a warrant for that, sir, ma'am.
I did like my grandma's house, but I don't like houses where the kids' bedrooms are in front of the house. Like they were upstairs, but they were still in front of the house.
Oh yeah, no, 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 because that just means pervy, creepy neighbors know where you're. Yeah, no.
Or your like kid can have conversations. Your kid could sneak. I had friends that
Yeah,
snuck out. I was a bad friend.
I only did that once, and I tore the ligaments in my ankle jumping off the roof.
Oh.
off the porch. Yeah, I may or may not have made some interesting choices as a young human. Oh, Kilray. I was one of those kids who always hung out with the old people, and they always told me, don't get a big house, it sucks, live in the smallest place you can. I'm, I'm kind of torn. I like something in the middle, because I love the idea of a tiny house on wheels to be mobile when, especially where fire is a season, and I want to be able to move with everything in my kitty safely. But I'm also grew up with hoarding tendencies, so it's this push pull of I need some space, but I don't want too much space, but I don't want too little space. I'm just the princess and the pea and Goldilocks. I want it just right.
My new dream is in Arizona, and I'm sure they have these all across the country, but my only real exposure to this was in Arizona. People will live on a property and they'll have the standard 4 bedroom house, which in LA
Mhm.
is three, and just
Yeah,
normal house. And then their side shed is a small airplane hangar. It's
right.
like one of those half domes. They have it in Australia too a lot. But
Yeah,
it's basically warm weather cities. They have those weird domes.
you know,
I would love to have one of those. Or like an Amish barn.
I'm Amish.
I just like saying Amish.
I know you're wrong, but
But I want or just something like that. I would, because of my grandmother's house, I had to paint that thing. Between having my own job, my own life, a child, it took me 6 months. But I redid her whole house though.
yeah, yeah,
But
it
it
was a
was
lot of
huge.
work. Right.
I
Seven.
did it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say 7 bedroom. I've never had that many bedrooms in a house. The most I've ever had is 2 bathrooms.
My grandma was gangster though. Like after a certain age, she figured out that all of her grandchildren were deadbeats. So she was like, "None of you can live in my house. So don't try."
Well,
Like
good call.
she was smart.
It's like
Especially if
my
you ask.
children raised assholes. You're not welcome.
Well, I like she was like depression era, like old school. So if you didn't have a job, if you weren't like getting
Yeah,
things for yourself,
yep.
she would tell you.
And they didn't mince words. Hey, husky boy.
My mom is like that too. My mom, she speaks English plainly. I appreciate like where I'm from, it's called talking real.
Yeah.
Where you
Right.
just
Don't
like
sugarcoat stuff. Don't. It, if you're not happy, just tell folks.
my son is the best for that. And he's picked up my lingo. So like I'll wear something and he's like, "Are you going cruising?" And I'll turn around and like literally go change.
Let's see here. Kilroy. They're called Quonset huts. They're one of the most inexpensive and easy to build metal buildings you can get. They were originally designed for the military. All right. I could do me a Quonset hut.
I want one so bad. In Arizona, they were free. Like all the people who lived on the outskirts, they'd have like the stereotypical full acre plot. It was literally like just acre squares, and almost every single person had one. Yeah, I could hang. I think that's just enough space.
I know. I'm like, can I hula hoop inside and have all my sewing machines and a place to sleep?
I'm gonna have to write that down because I'm gonna talk about it yesterday. Like Kilroy didn't tell
Tomorrow.
me. See, I'm out of
Yeah,
it. This is what
we talked
happens. Like
about it yesterday. We are officially on the time traveling portion of tonight's show.
I am a time traveler.
I
I'm
come
from
from
the
yesterday, tomorrow,
I'm
next
from the
year.
future. Everybody loses. Save water. Everybody loses.
You're all gonna die and pay some taxes.
No, if you think about it, if electricity went away, we would go back to the 1800s. If water disappeared, we would be fighting over wells.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a premium where I live. Like water's a thing. Oh my gosh, folks were getting text messages from the power company last week because the threat for fire was so high, and this was one of the power companies that got sued for causing or partially being responsible for some of the fires in the county south of me and the state next door. It was
It's funny
bad.
It's funny you'd bring that up. When I got in my car accident, I hit a power pole, and California State Edison sued me, and the person who name was co-signed on my truck.
Oh no. And they were kind of pissed.
Oh, he like looked at me like, "Are you? I'm being
How
sued by
could you do
Edison,
this to
bro."
me? Couldn't you just pick a tree that wasn't attached to lines? Damn you.
But but they never followed through with their case because their old infrastructure is what started most of the California fires from the year from hell.
Yup.
And they got so sued that they dropped all their petty lawsuits. And so basically, the only reason that I didn't have to buy that pole is because they got sued.
One no good deed, no bad deed goes unnoticed.
I had to go get my car, and so I needed another driver. So I called the most gangster person I know, aka my
Hey,
mommy.
right here.
And ironically, like we look over and she's like, "Bro, that's your pole." She's like, "You almost died on that freaking pole, dude." And I'm like, "I know." And she reminded me that like we were this close to having to go to court with Edison, with the
Yeah,
big boys.
right. I didn't agree to pay to step into this playground, kid. I know, Loki, your human's not home, and I know you're an hour past your feeding. You just have to look cute. Can you sing into the microphone, though? Give us a meow. Sing for your fans.
Oh, the chat is like 2 steps behind. It's the same thing on StreamYards. You'd be surprised how much electrical infrastructure is 90 plus years old.
Yeah, it can't keep up, and oh, I am sick of people wanting their electric cars. Like, no, I don't want to divert. No, just give me my gas guzzler that's 18, 17 years old. I'm going to keep the car that's paid off that guzzles gas. I'm not, no, I'm not going to bend the knee on this one.
Do you know it's the most Kilroy is told I totally like my brain exploded when Kilroy said that because if you drive anywhere heading east in the desert, you see how old the infrastructure is. Like Wells Fargo put those poles up. They're so old. Freaking cowboys fought people over those poles. They're so old out here. We still have
Yeah,
telegraph wire running.
right. Oh,
I didn't think about that. We for California, like just as America is not that old, but our infrastructure
nowadays,
is old. You know,
right. We were technologically advanced, and now we didn't keep up.
100 years ago we were,
Right,
but
yeah, now everybody's crushing it, and we're just like trying to scrape by in our teenage angst phase of countryhood.
what also depends on the state. Like California, our roads are trashed. You go on any state, like Nevada, you're bumping on the road in California. You go to Nevada, you're like, this is the smoothest road I've ever been on in my life.
I thought there was a problem with my car. No, it's a problem with the road.
I can't wait for electric cars. I'm a lot better with troubleshooting electrical systems than engines.
Uh, okay, I would if it was a better way to get electricity and it wasn't just a diversion of where the carbon emissions were coming from. Like I don't know. If they would give me my nuclear powered car and I'll just drive off my uranium drippings. I don't know.
I'm 50-50. I just paid a couple $1,000 to fix my car that I'm going to resell. I'm 50-50. I'm
Yeah,
50-50. I want to get rid of, but I've said this a million times. Let's bring horses back. I'll walk. I was a walker in high school before I got a car.
I
Like I'll
know. I
walk.
should just get a bike because most of my day to day travel is literally less than 2 miles I travel on
I have a
to
bike.
get to my basic needs.
I have a bike. I need to pull that. You just inspired me to pull that rusty duster out the shed and take a look at it.
Yeah, you do that.
Oh, it probably needs new everything, though.
I don't even have one right now.
I didn't have one, and my father started buying stuff for he got famous on Facebook, and
Yeah,
he started buying props because he needed to get his quota, you know. And one day I see him on the bicycle and I took a picture of him and I put it on Facebook. I told him, one more trip around the block, your trip to the hospital is free. He was a 70-something-year-old smoker who decided to get on a bike.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh yeah, so I still have that damn bike, and he bought a good mountain bike at the Goodwill too. So I still have that stupid thing.
Oh, hold on one second.
I'm 50-50 on electric cars. I'm over cars though. If it could just get me from point A to B, like it's so different when but from what Commander said,
It's so bad. Hold
electric
on,
trucks
we'll
have
talk
more
in a little
power.
bit.
Apparently electric trucks have more power.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
What don't we know now?
Electric trucks have more power than Commander said the other day that
Oh,
electric
right.
trucks have more power. I really don't know.
It doesn't matter if they have more power. If they're so expensive, you can't afford them. And the fail. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm bleeding. Never mind. The carbon reduction is nice to have for me. I just want a car that can work on the whole damn thing and not have to worry about oil changes. But isn't there still mechanical? Don't you still have to oil parts of it like a sewing machine? Like some stuff is metal and needs lubricating, right? Yes, all I really want is a tuk-tuk.
Damn right. Well, excuse me. If we all had a bunch of rickshaws on the road, it would be even. If everybody had no, three-wheelers are illegal here. We had like golf
I think
carts.
about rickshaws and I think about the ones where there's a human in front running with the passengers in the back.
Same. I want one of those so bad. I need to find what YouTube channel that was. Somebody figured out how to bring one from India to America, and they worked on it.
I'm sure Kilroy could find us some nice Amish folks who would just build it for us.
It was that video that inspired me where I'm like, I'm going to get a rickshaw before I die. I'm going to get a rickshaw.
Well, you could with that video. Oh my god, I sent not Kilroy. Nope, I sent Godless a Instagram video of someone who turned their sewing machine into. They had a saw, a straight saw on the front where the needle was, and a sander belt at the backhand, and I think it was a treadle, and that made me laugh and think about all of you here.
It was a tedious, but honestly, that's some apocalypse stuff. Like, that was actually ingenious.
I know, I was like, that's such a good idea.
Because there's a lot of times at thrift stores, I'll see a table saw or a jigsaw, and I think it's a sewing machine. They actually look alike
Right,
in a
and
lot of ways.
you just smush it together. This is the zombie machine of all zombie machines.
Ooh, I wonder if I will ever get bored enough at work to put a needle in a jigsaw and see what happens.
I want to see you put a jigsaw blade on a sewing machine.
I would I just have this like premonition of snapping a needle in my eye. I wear goggles sometimes when I'm working on sewing machines.
You should probably wear goggles most of the time. Or actually, they're called your spectacles, and put them on.
I wear my glasses and full lab goggles over
Oh,
them.
the plastic ones with the elastic strap in the back
Oh yeah.
are like the nice goggles that don't look like googly eyes.
Yes, all of the above. I literally have all the above.
I'm oh, I kind of miss chemistry lab. The day that we made ether and everybody was high on ether in the chemistry lab.
Oh
That's so
wow.
funny. That was
When
in
I
Gen Chem too. It wasn't even in fancy upper level chemistry. That was the basics.
They still would have fired that teacher.
No, that was part of the curriculum.
Oh, that's funny. When
No,
I
we
was
all
in
made
high
ether.
school, there was we watched the movie Biodome in my high school because my teacher like kind of gave up on life.
Mm.
And like we were watching the movie Biodome and it was over and there was still like 20 minutes left of the class. So he's like, "Oh, there's breaking news on TV. Let's see what it was." It was a high-speed chase where a man offed himself on live television,
Oops.
and we saw it in school. This knob let us watch the whole video, goes in the office and tells on himself.
Why would you do that?
That night, they called the parents, and then every single one of us, he was gone the next day, literally gone the next day. We walk into class, they hand all of us waivers. They were like, "You guys get a free period, but tomorrow you have to come back with this signed."
Uh, yeah, no.
And it was,
When I did that, I was in university when I made ether in the lab. I wasn't in high school. I think
but
I
we
never
had
even
some.
get the needle in the jigsaw. That is a more interesting question, Kilroy.
You can always, with a soldering iron, you can always rig a piece.
Or with all this new 3D printing stuff, I guess you could just print yourself a needle bar, needle
I don't.
attachment.
I do not necessarily trust a lot of that, but I'm an old man screaming at windmills. I'm the real life Don Quixote. So don't, take everything I say with a grain of salt.
I know it's true, and I think about this um these sewing machine feet. I'm like, do I want a metalsmith to like metalsmith me one, or do I want a 3D printer person to print me one? Or do I want to find one of each and then do a head to head comparison? All right, I want the latter. Please, if anybody knows these skills, I'm looking for some feet. Yeah, I wonder how you'd even. Yeah, bro, I got there. Okay. Wow, the heat just. Whoa, man. Let me. I'm not going to ask Alexa because I don't have Alexa, but I'm going to consult the temperatures because I feel like it just raised 10 degrees and I am melting.
Isaiah asked me for a 3D printer for his birthday.
All right, it is 100 degrees out. Oh, they lied. It's not 104, but tomorrow they say 108. I might literally cry tomorrow. That's another thing.
That's another reason why I do my live streams later, because it gets so unbearably hot. I don't come in here until 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I do have a south-facing window, so the sun is literally beating in right now. But I've got keep my drapes closed, and there's light on the outside to reflect the heat back outwards. I know I've been watching Adam Savage, all this 3D printing stuff. I'm like, I'm curious, but I don't know what I would use it for.
Maybe the technology's caught up and I'm just a dinosaur. When I think of 3D printer, I think of that $1 million machine that Ellen's wife had, and
Oh,
like that's it.
Portia de Rossi.
The rich get richer. During COVID, she had this magic 3D printer and she got so rich off of making the metal things for the masks, and then she made so much money she started giving them away for free
Interesting.
because she bought this experimental 3D printer because she was so rich that she could buy stuff that we never even heard of. She did a whole interview about it during
I
COVID. I watched it because I was bored.
I think that is one of the new realms of technology that the the tech has improved greatly over a short period of time, and the price has come down significantly from where it started.
Like cameras.
Yes, and am I gonna get it? What do I want to do about my camera sitch?
It seems like an electrical problem because it picks and chooses when it wants to work. And um I've been talking to somebody who may or may not be a special guest tomorrow, so I'm not gonna let it go. I'm not
All
gonna
right,
let it
we're
out the
not gonna
bag.
spoil it in case we get disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. It's my life story. But um they also have screen issues with their device. StreamYards pulls a ton of power.
I don't use StreamYard. I use Wave.video.
Just streaming in general, it
Fair.
because you're doing one thing and then this app is asking the same of it, so it's pulling almost double.
True. I know, but I think it's my dummy battery. Well, part of it too, because the battery doesn't. it likes to pull out of the clip because I can't close the battery cover with my dummy battery.
I had no idea 3D printers were affordable. We probably spent that much money today on weights and food and
Wait, $300 and only 77 tomorrow. I know, but your 77 with 100% humidity is going to feel just as hellish as my 105 that it's going to be tap out at tomorrow. Because it's only 12% humidity, so I'm probably I'm glistening, but it's so dry that you don't sweat because it just evaporates before you
all
know
right. I'm gonna give you a little preview.
it. Hey,
This I love the smell. It smells like downtown LA and it's not a bad thing.
new fabric smell.
Oh, it smells like a fabric store. Like okay, so this I was gonna use for lining, but I'm probably gonna make like a PM Dawn t-shirt with it. Or
That's
like
cute.
a this is like a breathable material. I bought a bunch of stuff that's out of my league and I'm excited.
Breathable. What does that mean? Is it cotton, linen, not
It's
synthetic
linen.
if it's breathable?
It's
Oh,
like
linen.
really
Okay.
thin linen.
Ooh, nice. Also, like shirt weight or handkerchief weight linen or shirting weight because it's not bottom weight.
It's shirting weight because I'm not gonna have to put lining on it.
Okay, so, oh, right. So it's thin but not see through.
I'm excited for this one. That's more like I'm gonna make a power suit. Okay,
Yes.
so I may or may not bring Mimichi out of retirement for this. You can see the reflection. You can see the reflection of this color off of my face. Look how yellow this is. Heidi, 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 ho. This is Cab Calloway yellow.
Yes.
I might make a zoot suit out of this.
With a do you have
Like,
enough for a hat? You need the matching hat, please.
oh, I can go back. That's from the place
Right.
where I made friends.
Okay, let me know when you go there. I'll Venmo you some money so you can send me some stuff.
It's so affordable. I can go nuts, and I still like. I left the house with a certain amount of money.
Yep.
Okay, and I came home with like still like 30-40 bucks in my pocket.
So don't. All right. So you've learned your lesson. You don't need to impulse buy crappy fabric at Walmart and Hobby Lobby. Save it up for your once a month trip to the fabric district. Save money. Get more fabric.
I think this might be an every other Saturday kind of thing.
Oh,
Well,
well, in
another
that
thing,
case, hook me up.
LA has LA has LA has culture. It has like it it's crazy. Okay, this I'm gonna have to stand up.
Okay.
This is supposed to be 5 yards. She hooked me up so hard.
I see gray. Ooh, I like the. Oh, this is the denim. This must be blue, not gray.
It's
Like a stone
it's
wash.
yes. And I'm gonna make some awesome. I don't even want to say it because I'm gonna start cutting my patterns this evening. This may not even be in my fabric haul because I'm so excited to use this.
Right, because you're going to make overalls by tomorrow with a matching jacket from Mimi G.
Well, the jackets first, but I'm gonna make the western one.
Okay.
I'm so excited for this.
Oh, is there any
And
place there that has cheap notions? Because I'm kind of keen on one of these. Um, what are those spaghetti strap turning sets?
they have everything that you could possibly think of. I walked into this one store. It was intimidating because I was looking for rhinestones, and you had to buy them by the thousand, by the
Oh,
thousand.
you will go through that in no time. That's easy.
But there was like this 5 pound bag, and I stuttered. I shouldn't have stuttered. I just like
Oh,
grabbed it. I
no,
didn't ask for the price. I should have asked for the
just
price
shut
because if
up
I
and
asked for
take
the
my money.
yeah, if I asked for the price, I'm buying it.
Right, and if you need to ask for the
This
price that you can't afford it. All right, what's next?
this needs to be the last one because I have some bangers, but this one I wanted something super like Santee Alley. I wanted something super 1980s, really, really gay. You can see my face, my
I
eyes are
was gonna
getting
say, I see the
huge.
colors. I'm like, this is neon.
The and
Is there
it's
flowers?
it's biker short material.
Oh, spanned. Oh, Yes, that is 4-way stretch athletic fabric. All right.
But it's downtown, so it's wannabe athletic fabric, but it's really thick. Like this is thick. I'm gonna make some hokey. Do you remember like all the 1990s videos, like wiggle it just a
Just a
little bit?
bit.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
make
yes,
a total 1990s shirt with this.
yes. With some extra
And look
ease
at
because
this.
you're not showing off your six pack, you're showing off your keg.
This guy, look, this is more than 5 yards. Look at this. This was supposed to be 4 yards. He gave me like 9.
I'll take it. Oh my god, I this yes. Oh my god. So yesterday when I was at the club, we were haggling over this couch because that's what you do with friends. You're like, I don't like this. The dog peed on it, and I was like, they're like, I'll sell you this part for 100. And I lay it out. And I'm like, nope, I pay this much and only pay you 75 if you could saw it in half for me and deliver. Groove is in the heart. Oh my god.
That was my video. That was my song.
Oh man, these songs are still new. These are not on the oldie station. Do not, don't break my heart. Don't break my heart, my achy breaky heart.
Oh,
Oh man. Oh, it is so ooh, right now. Okay, I can do it. I've got so much sewing. So I finished the circle skirt, and now I've been quietly doing the rolled hem on the 7-inch strips that are going to be the ruffly portion. I'm doing it the same way I did for the Pluderhosen, where I'm lining all of the straight pieces up, doing one side of the rolled hem, and then I will flip it over and do the other side of the rolled hem. But unlike the Pluderhosen, where I did the gathering in the middle, I'm just going to gather at the top and then French seam and then sew them for this perfectly pumpkin poofy petticoat panorama. Fuck Billy Ray Cyrus, sorry.
what did he do? I'm so curious.
I don't know. Well, he it made an interesting daughter. I saw Billy Ray Cyrus live at the county fair when I was a little kid.
Those names remind me of wholesome stuff. I never watched the show because it was way past my time, and it was before Isaiah's time. And in like when he was a kid, I would let him pick everything he watched, and he just didn't pick that.
Yeah,
So we didn't watch that stuff.
yeah.
I think that whole era, like Garth Brooks, all of them are kind of hokey.
I don't really love country music, so that was the only one that I remember from MTV, and I don't even know how we end. Well,
I grew up on country music, but like Conway Twitty, Dolly Parton, um, Randy Travis.
yeah.
He didn't do anything. I've just always hated Billy. Hey, there's quite a few people where I'm like, I met. I've probably already told this story. I met the T-1000 from Terminator 2,
Yep.
and when I worked at Togo's, and he was rude to me and my friend, and I always thought he was an a-hole, and he's now on that stupid Mayans show, I think,
Hmm.
where he plays an old biker.
Well, not for right now, because they're not making new shit, and they are recycling old trash.
Who was it? Some guy was like, "Oh, I have to sell my house."
Oh
Seriously,
yes, the guy
I
who was like
wanted to like
complaining with the giant trench coat jacket thing with the 30-foot train. I'm like, shut your face! You need to sell your $2 million house because of the strike. Like, get a real job, get a day job, like flip some burgers, go to
bruh, you would literally see me I would be at Domino's like, "Hey, welcome to Domino's. Can I take your order?" And I'd be happy as hell too. I would
I'll
be
take it
happy as
over
hell.
for you. Right?
I'd
Just
be the janitor at the high school. They'd be like, "Didn't I see you in a movie?" I'm like, "Hey, bro, I need a real job. They got a pension here. Get out of my way, kid."
is
Like,
that right?
I don't.
I'm a government employee. I get an IRA, I get a pension here. You said that. I'm two shades to the wind right now.
So it trips me out that that
Yeah,
he's
please
selling his
be some more
house.
pretentious. Who can barely people can afford a home, and you're like, oh no, God.
You know, yeah, I used to always say, no one feels sorry for the skinny guy. No one feels sorry for the rich guy. No one, like there are certain
Yeah,
categories where
no,
they're like, we have real problems, sir.
right?
You
You've
are
got
still
pretty
rich.
privilege and money. Just go shove it.
If you, if your bedroom, like, I don't know, I shouldn't even say that. It's just, there are
No,
certain people
if
where
your
I look at
house
them
has
and I,
more than 3,000 square feet, you can shove it.
do you know what's really funny you would say that? There is someone I've known my entire life. I've grown up with them. We've known each other as long as I can remember. He's one of those people who became rich of being a realtor.
Yeah,
I was coming back from Walmart and his parents still live in the neighborhood. I was coming back from Walmart and I saw him. He's in like this brand new Tesla and he stopped to talk to me and wave. I waved. I gave him the biggest smile and I kept driving.
right. You're like, oh, that would be really funny if they still live at their parents' house.
I
Right.
didn't know. He's rich. He's like
Yeah.
he owns a mansion.
Yeah, no, that's probably not in my this lifetime's of my experiences.
That's one of the reasons I stay off of Facebook because people I went to high school with like I went and traveled and they all became they because none of us were gonna freaking finish college. None of us were like
Yeah,
we were big Lebowski underachievers and like they all became realtors and they're freaking rich now.
yeah, Killer, I just not like it when people shove their own achievements in your face. Yeah, there's something just be said about being humble.
I agree. Life has kicked the crap out of me, and I am willing to admit it. Life has chewed me up and spit me out a few times.
Yeah, and I think there's some of us who just never feel good enough, so we like chronically undersell ourselves.
I agree. And that's part of the problem, though, is something like Facebook is exactly what Kilroy is saying. I was also surrounded by people who had ultra rich parents. Like for real. And so of course they're not gonna be living in like my friend Sean was the best. Like I got off of Facebook and he sent me a message and I told him like, bro, I'm done with Facebook. And he flat out told me, he's like, I hate my life. It's all a
Yeah,
facade.
right. Because money, no problems.
He has two daughters. He lives in this freaking mansion, total white picket fence. His wife is like smoking freaking hot. And he was like, I hate my life.
Yeah,
And I asked him recently, I was like, do you still feel the same way? And in a crowd of people, he was like, yep. Because we both knew what we were talking about.
yeah. Oh,
Uh,
that's funny, Killer. I bought a house when I was 24. All it took was my rich parents. Yeah, I. Well, and then back in the day too, like you used to be middle class and like felt like you were on top of the world. But today, is there even a middle? Like you're either like
but middle
scraping
classes
by
can.
paycheck to paycheck, or you have buckets of dough. There's like not an in between anymore. It feels like.
It's really sad though. It's really insane that you would say that because you're now reminding me of what those kids said at Walmart today when I was at the checkout. They don't have tap on certain registers,
Okay.
and they need to tell people this because this has happened more than once.
Also,
And the,
people are getting accused of shoplifting because they're thinking they're paying and they're walking out without paying.
well, it won't let you pay, and so you can't get your stuff.
Yeah.
And so this guy, like, he had a bunch of drinks and stuff, and I was like, "Hey, bro, I'll pay for it." And he's like, "No, that's not the issue, man." And like, he walked off, and the kid had to get a higher ranking person to, void it out. And while
Mm-hmm.
they were talking in front of my son and I, that lady was like, "Oh, he must have been broke."
Mm,
Oh, they were like totally snapping on this guy. Maybe that guy had 5 minutes and your
right.
stupid register with no signs messed up his whole plan, you know?
Right. He could have. Right. He probably has more in his bank account than you made in a week.
And then we're awkwardly, and I'm there with Isaiah. We're awkwardly standing there, and this lady, like, she's like, Walmart is so ghetto. And I look at her, I'm like, ma'am, you're a manager, ma'am. Ma'am, you are a manager. Like in my head, I'm like, ma'am, what are you doing? Excuse me. Like, go talk trash in the back room like the rest of us, you
But
know?
you talk,
Like,
you do that on Twitter after your shift. You don't do it at your place
and
of
you know
employment
what?
while you're on the clock.
I didn't have the heart to tell her, but I worked at that particular store 25 years ago. And yeah, I'm old. I don't care. But like, there are worse jobs.
Right?
And you should be happy you have an effing job, you
Right.
know?
You
Like,
could be the refuse collector.
this young lady said, I shop at Target. They're higher class. My brain was like, don't say it. Don't. I looked
Yeah.
at Isaiah and I smirked like, yeah, no one's yelling at the pride section at Walmart. No
Yeah.
one's freaking out. Like Walmart is sleepy and quiet.
Right. Yeah. Target may or may not have made some interesting
But
choices.
what no one knows is that the same stuff is at Walmart. I
Right,
should
but
have
they
took a
didn't
picture.
like blast it till the
No,
cows come. Right. You just shut your face. You're like, yeah.
they have the same stuff because we were doing some man shopping in the clothes section at Walmart today,
Mhm.
and they had pride shorts next to the patriotic shorts, and I didn't see anybody losing their grits over it, you know. But
I don't think it was I think it was the tucking and binding stuff for kids that was the issue with
that
Target
makes
that
me
they were
sense for
promoting.
every
Like,
time we talk about constriction. I have lung issues. Anytime you talk about constricting the chest,
right,
it makes my lungs hurt.
right. And I'm like, oh, that's what was on my fun list. Yeah, so I may or may not have printed out all three of Mood's the free corset patterns for Mood that I didn't print out to try. Yeah, I might have some more corsets in my future because I do love me a corset. Kilroy, I would have had to drag that Target lady outside.
Oh, with the blackface lady.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
she was mentally ill. Like people like that. Like
Oh, oh no, that was at the that blackface made me think about that comedian who complained about that their kid with the French fries being cold, but that mask was so terrible. It was like, what creepy thing do you have on your shoulders?
thank you. I agree. They didn't even sell it for kids. It was social media hysteria. And I think
Okay,
that's why nobody was freaking out at Walmart because and again, Walmart is a heartless corporation. They don't care. Sam Walton has passed away. It is ran by a bunch of heartless humans, you
executives,
know.
right?
They don't care. If it's selling, they'll sell it, you know.
Right.
And I'm a grown man who bought a flower print. You never know.
There's
And I
something.
walked full biker yesterday.
And we're gonna see your flower print underneath your biker shirt tomorrow.
Oh no, the lady who said, okay, so I didn't finish the story because I'm a rambler. They were trashing the like she basically said Target was high class, and I looked at her like, but the thing that bothered me, they kept on calling this man broke. You don't know this man's situation.
No,
He
and the
just
folks who, rich folks frequently, if they're smart, they look like normal people, if not look like trash. And you don't know that they've got bank in the bank.
I
They're not
learned that
always
from
flexing.
my dad and my grandfather. They never changed their styles.
No, you look humble.
You have both of my grandfather would always wear like suspenders, a white shirt, and then a nice shirt on top with a pair of pants. And my dad was the Black Willie Nelson. He dressed like a hobo.
Right. Because they didn't need to lead with their flexing. They were like, I'm a human. Okay, sell me shit.
Yeah, I still to this day I'm gonna cry when I have to get rid of the flex though, because I was there when he paid cash for it.
Mm,
But it's time to go.
I need a gas guzzler.
It's just it's worth a lot of money right now because of all the computers in it.
Mm,
And I keep on just trying to keep it alive, and I need a reliable car where I don't have to pump thousands of dollars into it to recharge it every year and a half. And it's older flex.
yeah, that flex has lost its flex.
Muscle.
Right? It needs to go back to school. I don't know where that was going.
If
Wow.
you want to go to Walmart in a suit, either you're broke and you're trying to look rich, or you're trying to get a wedding or court date.
Right. Is that right?
I'm
Oh, that's
I say
funny.
this I say this all the time. I'm surprised I'm not on the People of Walmart website. I'm really shocked because I go in there rough, and my cowboy hat makes me stick out.
Yeah, but you're not going in with your butt hanging out and your Crocs on.
No, never. I don't own Crocs. Do you know what's so funny? People look at me crazy because, like, in on Black Twitter, they'll always say slides. So I go to the blackest person I know, my ex-wife, who's white Irish.
Right,
And
because back in the day, that was basically being black.
no, she has her ear to the streets. She knows what's up. And I asked her, I was like, "What are slides?" She laughed so hard. She's like, "They're Crocs." I said, "See, I don't know what slides are. Like, I had
See,
no
I
idea."
didn't know that was the new slang for slides because slides used to be sandals, flip flops that you slid your foot into, versus thongs, which were the shoes that had the one between the toes.
I have this hate love relationship with Deion Sanders. He's the new coach of Colorado football team. He's
Yeah.
completely commercialized his team, and he had an open press conference where he was yelling at his kids, and I didn't understand like 9 words of what he said. So I had to like write them down. I was like, I don't understand what that is. What that is.
I need a human or to consult the Urban Dictionary.
Well,
People look at me like
he
I'm
hangs out with
nuts.
younger kids. Oh, sorry.
Oh, Killer Ray said people look at me like I'm nuts when I say I don't have any shorts or sandals. There, I do own shorts, and yeah, but I get it.
Honestly, I had one pair up until 3 years ago when I got locked in the house in COVID and started making clothes like a clothes maker.
Yeah,
Now I have a bunch of shorts, but they're all made by me. Like, all of them.
mine aren't all. My problem with shorts is hair management. I'll just leave it at that. Hair management sucks.
Because my father was African, I have a medium amount. Because my mother has European ancestry, so that my ancestors clash with each other in my body.
Yeah, but you're from a socially accepted class who doesn't need to deal with leg hair management because you're not a cyclist or a swimmer where hair and time water resistance is important.
That is true. Like, if I walked around with my shirt off, no one would say a word.
Nobody needs to see my cave troll legs or my worn out dog's fear.
I always say it about my feet, that my feet are salmon snatchers, so nobody wants to see my claws.
Oh, that's funny. I have, well, some of my hula hoop tricks, I think circus disciplines in general, there's this fine line. Like, you don't necessarily want to look overly, like, sexual with tiny outfits, but certain tricks, the more skin you have accessible, the easier tricks are, and
Oh yeah.
clothes make things hard. So I'm in this constant push pull of modesty versus ease.
I'm all about function over fashion, and I try to overlap fashion on function, but I'm
Yeah,
all about like, or just that one hidden pocket where no one will see me hide my wallet or my keys.
that's what a bag is for.
That's why I wore my vest though,
Yeah,
because like I you cannot carry a weapon in downtown Los Angeles because if you get pulled over, stop the cops will pop you. So I had my mace with me.
oh, so you had the industrial bear spray, but did you have a pocket knife?
No, like they're no joke in LA. Like if it's no, they're no joke. They'll take you to jail for no reason.
Yeah, that's lame.
And so, like, and the funny thing is, like, if there was ever a place to encourage you to defend yourself, it would be in a situation like that,
Right.
you know? But
I know,
whatever, I know the
places where
rules.
they're like, you can't do this are all the scariest places of like, I actually need this. Why are you infringing?
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Like I missed the smells. Um I missed all of it. And they've made the street vendors go legit, so all of them have professional carts now.
All right.
Because they used to be just little hibachis on the street or whatever they could
Oh,
fashion.
like New York City, where everybody's like, "Have we gone to a third world country?" And they're like grilling whole half hogs on the cinder block pits.
Is that real? Is
Yeah.
that
Oh.
real?
Oh. Yeah. Oh no, that is because I
What?
just heard. Where was it? No,
Ugh.
yesterday. No, Friday. Freeform America's Untold Stories. Freeformed Friday. Grobir was saying how somebody. Oh no, not somebody. JFK Jr. was at the border at the border in one of the border states, watching for like X amount of time. In the time that he was at the border, 300 illegal individuals crossed the border into the U.S. Of that, one was from South America, what from Costa Rica or whatever. A majority of the individuals who crossed were single men from the continent of Africa or Eastern Europe.
I saw that right now. You're gonna be seeing Africans everywhere because of what's going on, and Ukrainians. Right now, we still have a whole population of Ukrainian people that are on the Tijuana side of the border because California won't let them in.
And we just signed over another like 13 billion. Like Ukraine does not need our money. We need our money for our people. Like Ukraine, you're my people. We're Slav. I am you, but this is OTT.
It's yeah. So you're gonna see a lot more. And England was the first because they have the loosest laws. Basically, before their new laws, if you showed up and claimed and even said the word "I claim asylum," they gave it to you.
Well, and didn't last week or 2 weeks ago, like a boat of 50 plus refugees sink off the coast of Italy? Hillary will correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure.
I think so, but the thing is that they're like getting in boats every day and going to the UK. They're going to places where Italy is not a welcoming place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they've changed all of their laws because they
Well,
don't
yeah,
want to be like the UK because the UK is getting flooded with migrants.
it is. And they're like kind of the leader of the thought police and thought crime issues. Let's see here. Hillary says the comedian Doug Stanhope lives right by the border in Bisbee, Arizona. He says that you can set up a folding chair and take a cooler full of beer and watch the people running over the border. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not keen. I want border security, but the rotating razor wire saws on the buoys, that might be a little extreme, but I don't know what the right answer is right now because I feel like we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But we're just pissing money away to Ukraine right now. And I mean, I love me some pisankis and pierogies, but Ukraine's not a state. They don't get. Why should they get that much money when we can't take care of ourselves right now? I don't know. All right, we're back to the doom and gloom. All right, what's left? Oh, this was a funny one. So, I don't remember how old this clip was, but there was a research scientist. Were they at the WEF? I think they were at the WEF. Something that is like creepy and scary. Okay, so there is a tick in the southwest called the Lone Star tick, and the tick carries another microorganism that can cause individuals to become allergic to red meat. It's called alpha-GAD syndrome, and that is real. But this guy was like, of course we can bioengineer this organism and humans so that you don't need to eat red meat. We're just going to make it so you're literally allergic. Oh, putting mechanical devices on buoys is a waste of taxpayer money, too. Yes, mechanisms exposed to water require a lot of maintenance. It's true. Like, and it's salt water because it's, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't get the conversation, but I'm laughing because I lived in Portland when they started testing out those buoys they have now, and they would set off the tsunami alarm all the time. And I like there was a couple of times where I was like I felt helpless because I'm not from a place where you ever hear air raid sirens ever.
Right.
Oh, it scared the hell out of me. Oh, it scared the.
Oh no, it was. I was talking about the border buoys with the saw blades
Oh.
or razor wires or whatever it is, and it's too expensive. But then I went on to the scientist who was talking about the Lone Star tick and wanting people to eat less meat, so they will literally trying to bioengineer the Lone Star tick to give folks alpha GAD syndrome, which literally makes you allergic to red meat.
I've seen that movie. Everybody loses on Mars.
It's no right,
That is
yeah,
Total Recall. That is like literally Total Recall stuff. Ugh.
because there is Lone Star ticks. Alpha GAD is a real thing. I may or may not have actually seen it in real life, and now it's becoming more prevalent, which is also creepy.
Do you know how I always talk about how like the hardcore bikers are out at 5 in the morning going to the clubhouse? You always hear them. I was out there at 7 something in the morning. It put such a smile on my face to see all the gray-haired brigade, the gray hair brigade out there with their bikes and their big gray motor, big gray beards. 7 o'clock is when all the old guys start coming out.
Shush, I'm not old, but I'm gonna need to color my roots again because my salt and pepper's showing.
I'm gray on both sides of my goatee, and it makes me feel like Raja Ghul from Batman. I love it. I love my evil look, like, and then I have like a streak of black in the middle, so it looks epic.
I think we've gone to the bob and winding misadventures of tonight's show.
Oh, no worries. I'm stuttering and stammering. I'm gonna drink a bunch of water and lay on the couch after this.
I know. I know. I'm.
Watch a
Am I,
hate stream or two.
am I gonna wrap up early? Do I have enough in me? My cats haven't eaten yet. They're glowering at me, and it's almost 7 o'clock.
We
All right,
could
okay.
stammer on
Let's.
our. We
We
could
could
slowly
stammer
say
on, but
goodbye.
I think let's know when it's probably time to call it quits early and end on a high note rather than push it and look like fools. So I've got something in me for tomorrow, and you need to sleep. All
Oh, I'm
right,
out of it.
shill your shit now, human.
Well, tomorrow on Godless Owing Saga, I will be going off about how I forgot Los Angeles had culture. There's a ton more fabric. I may or may not have purchased a fleece pattern because I am on the quest to buy every simplicity pattern that has a man on the cover.
All right,
And 7 o'clock tomorrow, I'll be there, be square. Monday, Monday, Monday.
all right. Don't wait till tomorrow when you can be fabulous today, and don't laugh at others unless you've laughed at yourself. All right, I'm out of here.
Rock out the clock
Bye.
out.